silver braces. Rehearse my shame, rehearse my faces. You say I'm fine, I'm not alone. The world outside proves me wrong. No sideways looks my swan song. I talk like I'm above the mess. Sleepwalk through my emptiness. Every promise that I can't feels borrowed, bent and delicate. Mirror, mirror, break your spell. You don't even know me well. Your cruelty is honesty, and I'm addicted to what I see. Mirror, mirror, bleed me clean. Show me what I've never seen. A devil tired of damnation. Angels born with salvation. I wear my sorrow like a joke. Drink it slow so I don't choke. Everybody looks annoyed, but ain't nobody want this void. Mirror, mirror, bleed me dry. Mirror, mirror, let me cry. Say I'm wrong, say I'm weak. I pray the Lord my soul will seek. If I should die before tonight, pyre, pyre, burning bright. I asked for help, I got the screen. Static feeling so obscene. Mirror, mirror, who's watching who? Mirror, mirror on the wall, I never learned to stand that tall. If this is me, then let me crawl. Just don't say I had it all. Mirror, 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 mirror on the wall. Mirror, mirror, mirror on the
Five members of the prominent Rhine Swan family were found dead. Investigators believe the killer may be the same individual the media has dubbed the Red Crier, suspected in...
And good morning, Best Chat. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, Best Chat, for another week of Boarding Nonsense Chat. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Hope you had a wonderful weekend, fantastic weekend, the best weekend, which is the exact kind of weekend I'm hoping that Best Chat always has, the absolute uncontested Best Chat. So welcome back, welcome back. Hope you had a fun day. I hope Monday, the Monday demon has yet to be too cruel to you. Welcome back. Let's see here, Chad. Call of Duty says, good morning, LD and Bez. Chad, did you see the voice actor of Duke Nukem celebrating the anniversary of Duke Nukem because the current owner won't? Why? I also found out that he voices Big the Cat. It's kind of weird sometimes when you kind of go into like a voice actor's roles, and you're so used to them being one role, like Duke Nukem or something, and then you kind of find out that they played this other character that's completely like the opposite of like this the character you kind of know them for. Right? It's kind of weird. I'm like, who currently owns the Duke Nukem franchise? And see, Board Leading says, good morning, LD and Best Chat. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Lady Posthumus says, good morning, LD and Best Chat. Well, hello to you, Posthumus, and welcome, welcome, welcome. Hudson Bomb says, morning, folks. I think authenticity is something people tend to know instinctively if they haven't been brainwashed by social media. We do. It's we kind of, it's like the uncanny valley thing. Like we know it's not quite authentic. Like we know exactly what authenticity feels like and sounds like and looks like. And we can, you can just like, you can tell, you can like hear someone speak, right? And then you can kind of like, this is put on, this is rehearsed versus authentic. You really can kind of suss it out, oddly enough. It's who knew being genuine is a hot commodity these days? Yeah, turns out. And see, chat. Sketch, good morning, LD in chat. Rumor has it Nintendo is spreading fake reports. They are throughout their offices in order to discover who's been leaking stuff across social media now. So, RIP, dream of a new Star Fox. I heard something about new Star Fox. Is that fake? I heard something. Like I haven't heard a lot about it, but I heard something about it. I think fans are not just like kind of like they're not just ready for good Star Fox, just kind of ready for new Star Fox, something brand spanking new. Because I think that franchise has been neglected for some time now. But welcome, Sketch. So RP dream of a new Star Fox. That sucks. Let's see, Jordan Demigods. Hello to you, Jordan Demigod. Good morning, all the best chat. Remember to stay hydrated and stand against the evil. Absolutely, absolutely. Let's see, chat. Dr. Curtis says, hello, LDNBC. Almost done with planning phase of Red Squirrel. With everything done with Alterna, I decided to make it a webcomic and plan printing and trade later when I have issues fully done. Fantastic, Dr. Crow. Well done. Well planned out. Fantastic. And good luck. Hope it goes well. Shishbucket says, good morning, LD and Best Chat. Sorry I haven't been around so long. Had lots going on lately, including the launching of Artemis too. Very cool on April 1st. Hope everyone is doing well and God bless all. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Like to see him, this really nice success. Right, it's fantastic success. There's I think what the Wokies kind of came in on it was the Wokies came in and kind of tried to ruin it by saying this is a victory for wokeness. Wokeness is so back, guys. They're so butthurt that wokeness is dying. That like they latch onto anything. But was the same mission? Was the same mission? Because what was it? Yeah, they put up photos of like the two pilots, one woman and one black guy. Like, oh, woke is back. Take that, Charlie Kirk, all that stuff, all this retarded nonsense. And then turns out the black guy is not only like based, he's also very Christian. Like he's a Christian, and he specifically says, "I didn't do this. This is not I'm not making black history. I'm making human history." Like, wow, this guy's based. So no, wokeness is not back. But they try to ruin it with everything. Man, woke people are just such dorks. They're just like such this. What would you call it? There's such insufferable dorks. Like everything must be race and gender with them. It can't just be a human success or a success for one, overall. Success overall. This is a pretty good accomplishment. It has to be a victory for wokeness, which is not, because they just see skin color and say woke as long as it's not a white guy, But no, it's not that way at all. Let's see. Tyler Preston, good morning, everyone. Hello to you. Tyler Preston, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello to Kara, the Tolkien nerd says, hi, all, better today. Fantastic. Rotten weekend, though. Despite other half trying to make me feel better. Yet sometimes you just can't, sometimes you just can't really feel better. The only thing that can really make you feel better is time, unfortunately. But hopefully you are feeling better, Kara. Hopefully things are getting better. I'm glad today is better so far. I see Megathon says, we start the day vibing with the Lady Midnight OP. Fantastic. Morning, LD and Best Chat. Good morning to the Megathon. Yeah, I got a brand new teaser. See what people think. Little teaser there. Lady Wolf, get your coffee. Hello to Lady Wolf. Hello to you, Shadowwing Tronics. Good morning, all. Artemis 2 lands and some minor actor has to go about social media that then need the more money. If money alone solved everything, we'd be in utopia by now. Yeah, it's weird what woke people think, because woke people tend to believe this. They tend to believe this, I think, because you kind of have to be an immature-minded person to be woke, I think. Like, this radical, weird Everything's gender politics kind of woke. Because every single time you see a woke person who generally pushes this stuff, they seem like a very immature, like they haven't really developed any sort of sense of reality yet. And of course, because they're so immature, they tend to push the idea that money can just fix everything. It's kind of like what they argue with Batman. Like, if Batman had just like given all of his money away, he could just solve all the problems in the world. Like, no, he couldn't. His parents tried that for years, didn't do a damn thing. Usually, his dad's supposed to be a philanthropist. So in his especially in the Nolan universe, they're supposed to be like really good people. They're supposed to have done a lot for the city, and the city murdered him for it. They didn't really fix very much, despite all the philanthropy they did. Carter Ketchel, good morning, best chat. Busy weekend, and now for a boring week. Hello to you, Carter Ketchel. Welcome back to a brand new spanking week. Lip Biscuit says, good morning, LD and chat. It's Monday. Here we go again. Yeah, dust yourself off, pick yourself up, start all over again. Let's see. Liberal Wolf says, wow, hello to you, Liberal Wolf. Hello to you. Good morning, LD and best chat. Good morning to you, Pinky Power. Hello. Let's see. Aberrazione says, good morning, everyone. Hello to you. Lee, sorry, but autocorrect. I'm getting LD, not my dishwasher. Hello to Pinky Power. Let's see. Dr. Christmas says, people fly around the moon. Idiots make it about DI. Yeah. Now it's just a big discussion about DI pilots and Charlie Kirk and like that. We'd be a lot better off without these woke weirdos. We just really would. They just ruin everything. And it's a great 90 says, good morning, Mr. Best Chat. I saw Nobody too, and it's pretty good. Yeah, it's a pretty good follow-up, I thought, because I've seen it a couple of times as well. It seems that the main character attracts trouble even during a family vacation. It just can't help. Although probably could have chosen a different place to go than the one vacation that they went on with their dad. But you can kind of see why he chose that place. Let's see here. DI, like mosquitoes, you need to swat them. You certainly do. But get that out of here. You don't. Not everything is DI just because something was not done by a straight white man. Okay, it's the DI the whole DI thing was. Oh, you got this position not because you're qualified, but because we need to fill a like race quota. That's kind of what that means, and what people are complaining about. Huma says, God is good. Certainly is. Janine Schultz says, we watched the post-landing press conference with the astronauts. They praised God and made, all the woke people and atheists were complaining about how they're praising God and like quoting scripture and everything. It turns out that because the whole idea that astronauts, like these really smart, really highly capable people who are fit and intelligent, everything, the idea that these like peak intellectuals are just kind of like praising God and everything kind of shatters the worldview. Because to them, every Christian, every Catholic is a country bumpkin who just rejects science and like just lives in some backwoods or something like that. That's kind of what they view these people as. Or there's these hardcore Bible thumping Republicans who live in like higher upper class neighborhoods who just reject all science and get mad at Harry Potter and stuff like that. That's kind of the only things they have to go off of when it comes down to Christians and Catholics. So when they therefore they always see themselves as the peak intellectuals. Like they have decided to go against this whole thing. And what, I actually do research and stuff like that. I'm high IQ. So therefore I don't believe in God. And then they find out there's scientists and astronauts who believe in God, and it just shatters their worldview. And they have no idea how to handle this. They have no idea how to handle it. So it is pretty funny to just watch because because of these weirdos are evil people. Like they just ruin everything. They try to ruin the Artemis 2 thing by saying it's DI and vote victory for wokeness when it definitely is not. Anyway, chat. Anyway, we had some interesting news over the weekend. It turns out that for some reason, the studio accidentally leaked out the entirety of the Avatar Last Airbender movie. It is going to be cringe, I can tell you. It's very anime, but in like the worst way possible. Let's see if this person covers it well enough, because I tried to find some stuff to show you, but they copyrighted it. Everything's copywritten. So all the leaks, everywhere they find the leaks, they're taking all that down. They're copyright strikes and stuff like that. So let's see if this person has got some information for us. But I can tell you what I did see
the feel. And honestly, I still don't. But the further I got into them.
Oh, by the way, chat, if we're getting to the business here, here's a $400 goal for the week of Pillarman. And we'll see how it goes. Once we get to $400, we will finish off the series of Amazing Digital Circus. Now, we did do the next 3 episodes this past week on Friday. I just made it public on Twitch. If you want to go check that out. We watched it with Stu. And it was pretty fun, pretty cool stuff. Episode 6, I think, is my favorite. It's the one with the guns. It was actually pretty good. Actually, the show's actually starting. It's pretty good, actually, overall, I'd say. But here we go, chat. Here we go. If we do meet the quota for the week, we will not only have more Amazing Digital Circus, we will have we'll finish it off. We'll finish it off what they have, and then I think the 9th and final episode is coming out in July or something. So we'll check that out when it comes out to streaming or YouTube or whatever. Because I think it's going to go to theaters first. But anyway, chat, let's go.
Something shifted. I started feeling, familiar. It started feeling like home. And by the time I got to the end, while I wasn't fully sold, I did feel better about it. Because the humor, the banter, the DNA from the original show, it's there. And that
the clip I saw, it's not there. It's too exaggerated. It's like been what would you say? It's flanderized, been flanderized. And I just could tell it's gonna be cringe. Although some things that have popped up since the leak were kind of funny, because like, oh, did you know that Zuko is bisexual or something? Like, what the hell's this? I think Zuko like mentions one guy's looks or whatever, and like that's someone's entire evidence that they made Zuko bisexual for whatever reason, and everyone's also angry that they didn't make Toph gay. That's the 2 main topics. Like, of course, the 2 main topics. You can't actually talk about the actual issues here. Everything must come down to sexuality. But those are the 2 main things that erupted from the leak. Was that everyone's angry that Toph is not gay, and everyone is gushing over the fact that Zuko is now bisexual for some reason. Which he isn't. Anyway.
That matters more than I expected. Now, before I get into any of this, yes, I am...
Yep, here we go. That's kind of what happened to a lot of all the footage floating around. So I can't really show you anything because all have been taken down already. But yeah, they did clip it. They just sent it out on accident.
Going to discuss the major leaks that happened today for the Avatar Aang movie, the adult movie. Now, before you go, if you are spoiler averse, I am going to talk about my general feelings about it first before we actually get into the spoilers of what happened in the scenes. I am not going to be showing any footage, though. So if you're here to look at any footage or screenshots or anything like that, this ain't the channel to do it. I ain't trying to get no takedown. So, not the place for it. You can try finding that online. The internet is a vast and wide space. But here,
the Legend of Korra just definitively showed off that none of them were gay. Actually, like Toph has been canonically straight for a long time, unless those same people want to declare Legend of Korra to be non-canon. That's it. But of course, they're always on the hunt to make sure that they're not straight. And if they had the compromise making a character bisexual, they will. So as long as they're not straight, they're like, okay, maybe he's bisexual then. Like, no, he's straight though. So as long as they're not straight, they're fine with it. They just want to declare, plant their flag on the character and own it by making the character not straight. That's kind of what the main goal is. So if they can get somehow finagle Toph to being bisexual, they'll do it. It's kind of like how they really found that one little moment to push Zuko as bisexual. They win with it to plant their flag on them. And then of course the backlash is not going to be on Zuko and the bisexual people. It's going to be on you saying no, he's not, he's straight, because like, oh, just let him have it. It's like, what's it matter? It's not real canon, and that's how we got into this mess in the first place. They didn't gatekeep this stuff. Like, no, he's not bisexual, he's straight. Like, they're all straight. All of them are.
In case you are very spoiler averse, just hear my general feelings about it. I did enjoy it. By the end of it, when I first saw it, it was a little bit jarring, especially some of the voices, which I'll get into a little bit later in the spoiler section. The voices did throw me off. However, I am really into the beat by beat moments. It feels very much like Avatar. I'm so happy to be back with these group of friends and Team Avatar. But the storyline, the overall storyline, still has me I'm not completely sold. There's some weird stuff going on, some timeline stuff, some ancient stuff. But again, I've said what I can without getting into it. So here's your warning, and I mean it. I'm about to break down the 2 scenes that were leaked, not the full script, even though that was leaked as well. That's a whole other video. And trust me, we're going to get there. But these 2 scenes, they tell us a lot.
All right, check it out.
About the tone, about the new villain, about where this story might be going. So if you want to go into this movie...
Megathon! There's the 5 that says, where are you finding all the Avatar fan fiction? There are clearly only 3 seasons. Yeah, just so much. There's so much Avatar fan fiction out there. But yeah, they have like, I think there's like a whole like subgroup of fans, right, for Avatar. That just gets so, because the show's been, off the air for like what, almost 2 decades now. I think, right? Or is it 1 decade? Was 2008 they went off? I think it was 2008 they went away, right? I think they did in 2008, something like that. And because it's been off the air for like 2 decades or something like that, it's the fans have had a lot of time to fester and wallow in the fan fiction, well, which there is quite a bit of. And so I'm pretty sure that after all these years, they kind of wallowed in their little bubbles enough to where it's kind of like just, obviously to us it's canon, practically canon that Toph is gay and Azula is gay and Zuko is gay, Aang was gay, all this stuff. And then to the point where now that it's come out that none of them are actually gay, like Toph is definitely straight, which we've seen from the main show, even where she likes Sokka and everything. It's like it's a shock. Like what? How could they not go with this? Obviously, this is the case. It's kind of what we call, it's kind of why we say little bubbles, right? It's kind of like they charge each other up. They have this idea, like, it begins with like, I think there's might be some evidence here that Toph might be gay, and then you get into a little bubble. You find someone else who kind of agrees with you. Then you'll all get to a little bubble, and you're all charging each other up, like boom, 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 to the point where it's not. It goes from like, I think Toph might be gay. It's like I found one little thing here that might hint that she's gay, to, years later she's like some super lesbian, and it's really obvious. Kind of the show is like an introduction, like for her introduction to the show, like super obvious that she was super lesbian from the get go. Look at this, look at this, look at this. Like it really charges you up, and it's just it's like and it's like layering. Like you begin with 1 layer, and then you have like years later you have like 4,000 layers, and it's like whoa. It becomes such a you're so convinced of this one theory that it becomes truth to you, and then the bubbles pop when they come out and say, it actually Toph is straight, actually. And the same thing happened recently with the Super Mario Brothers movie. Apparently, I haven't seen it yet, but I saw people complaining about it, that they were. All the people of I guess there was like a Peach Rosalina fan base of like them wanting to be Peach and Rosalina people who want those two characters to be shipped together, and apparently they made them related in the movie. So all the shippers like, what? No, not all of this is incestuous. No. Although I'm not really sure if they're disappointed because the ship is not happening, or they're like just complaining that now all of their years and 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 years of Rosalina / Peach fan art is now, you're into incest. Like, no, I made this before the movie. I think that might also be part of the problem here, but it's kind of like that though. Like people have convinced themselves that, yes, it's I like Peach and Rosalina together, and then you meet other people who like Peach and Rosalina, and then you get into the weeds here and start talking about proof and going over. I think actually this might be a case for it being legitimate. And then after years and years and years, it's like, of course they're lesbians. I don't see how you could think otherwise. But to any outsiders, like, that's just crazy. What the hell? You're like a psychopath. It happens. It does happen. It really does happen. And see, Neuromantics of 5. Does you chat much appreciate it? Let me see here. Yes. And this kind of stuff, I don't think is anything wrong with it inherently. It's just that when woke people get involved, they have to make it so. They have to they'll send death threats and starts harassing people until the people in charge of the show make it canon because obviously this is what the fans want, or we just want to make this change to get rid of how annoying these people are, something like that. So regular fans are like, oh well, I guess it's not canon, but it's canon in my fan fiction. Woke people are like, no, we got to harass the creators. We got to harass the creators and send them death threats and everything until they make this change. Otherwise, they're homophobic or something like that. They'll just slander them with homophobia or whatever until they make every character at least bisexual. Let's see. All right, chat. Here we go. There it is, chat. There it is. Where is this? Norman says, I'm not looking forward to Sokka being massacred as a character and destroyed his relationship with Suki. Yeah, they might. I don't know. They might. Yeah, I guess that would have to be the case, right? Don't they say Sokka doesn't have any kids in Legend of Korra? Isn't that the case? Isn't that the case? I forgot. I know one of them they said canonically did not have children. I think it was Sokka. So that means Suki and Sokka had to have broken up at some point, which is unfortunate. And of course, because Sokka is the main Chad character in the group, they're probably going to tear him down quite a bit. He's not going to really have a fair shake, I don't think. Let's see, chat. Thank you very much. All right, chat. All right. Let me see here. We got $7. We have made the very first important step, chat. Very first important step. Let's see here. Arc 5's normal shipping is scraping the barrel already, as is to what's one more thing. Yeah. So the shipping community is in and of itself not really a big issue. It's kind of like the modern age when they become so energized that they think that they have the right to just push and call people homophobic or whatever and try to force their personal favorite ship into canon. And kind of like and then the creators will just bend the knee and smile and say, oh yeah, we like this idea too. Please stop bothering us. Please stop calling my family, that sort of thing. Please stop slandering us on the internet and calling us homophobic. Yeah, thanks. Appreciate that.
Completely fresh. I respect that. I love that for you. Click off now. But if you're already here, if you made it this far, you already know you're staying. So, again, not showing anything, but just describing.
Yeah, I don't mind the spoilers because I don't care. I want to see what I'm getting into.
Scene 1 appears to be somewhere near the top of the movie, or at the beginning of the movie. We get an opening of an establishing shot, a snowy riverside, a Fire Nation airship in the background that almost certainly belongs to Zuko, and a makeshift tent set up near a forest. Then we cut to an overhead shot of Katara using her healing abilities on this massive, unconscious figure. And that's our first real look at Togga, the new Airbender villain. And I mean, he is a lot. We get his full body here, and the first thing you notice, besides the sheer size of this man, is that he has air nomad tattoos, ancient ones, which already tells you something before a single word of dialogue is spoken. Sokka breaks the silence, as he always does, by asking how Togga was able to hold up an entire mountain. Katara responds that his chi is stronger than anything she's ever felt. Now, think about that for a second, because Katara is married to the Avatar, the bridge between the physical and the spiritual world, so the most powerful bender on the planet, and she's saying this guy's chi is on another level. That's not a throwaway line. That's something telling you exactly who Togga is.
It's pretty crazy. This guy's chi must be really powerful. How do you do that? How exactly do you do that if you kind of can overpower the Avatar? I guess Aang specifically, and he's not really benefiting from the heritage of his many lives before him, I guess. So given that situation, that can be acceptable, I guess. Like, it's just Aang because even though it's been years, this guy seems way older, way more disciplined. He's got these ancient tattoos on him or whatever. So it kind of feels like that makes sense. He probably has more experience, more power than Aang does.
That is. Now, voice cast check. Sokka's voice actor actually sounds very solid. He's probably my favorite of the whole new cast so far. Katara is probably my least favorite so far.
One little warning sign here is that they had to recast the voice actors because the current voice actors, their race did not match the characters. It's like, come on. But yeah, they recasted the voice actors so their race matches the race of the characters, even though they're from a fictional world. They say, "You got demigod, this is a $10 super chat. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much." Your demigod says Batman funds the League. He does. He uses his own money to repair the damage from villains, have multiple charities, and have to fund his own and the Bat family tech to stop crime. Trust me, he does enough with his money. He does quite a bit. Although I'm pretty sure if he does do this, then it's actually Wayne Tech. Pretty sure it's like Wayne Tech or Wayne Enterprises has like a direct deal with the Justice League. It just so happens to the Batman has an in with Wayne. So I'm pretty sure like Wayne Enterprises can fund that publicly because I mean, why not? It's kind of like the government taking on private sector contract deals. And of course, all that stuff can be tax deductible. I'm pretty sure because those would be business expenses and stuff. So I think to me that would be the smartest case to do this, and they get endless positive PR. That'd be my guess as to what's happening with this. But yeah, he's definitely they do the Wayne people, the Wayne Enterprises people are definitely kind of funding the Justice League. I would think so. Unless Superman has like a giant mountain of gold, or they're being funded by the U.S. government, which I don't think they are. Let's see. Thank you much, content God. Appreciate it.
Her voice sounds the most different from what I'm used to, but to be fair, she gets the least amount of dialogue in this scene and the following scene, which she's like an old person, but we'll get into that later. But she's the one I'm least sold on right now. So it is hard to judge, and I'll be honest. The more I've sat with these new voices, the less they bothered me.
Wayne is the best and most trusted business partner. Exactly. Oh, thanks, Batman, for the recommendation. Can they stop making new Avatar content? That's what I'm saying. I'm saying the same thing. Like, would it be nice? Yes. The more I hear about this update, the more I'm disillusioned with the fact that they're going to screw it up. They are. It looks awful. It's like really cringe. The little bit I've seen. But yeah, I would say so. Like, stop making new content. You guys cannot handle it. Like, you guys cannot handle. It's really weird. It's like they don't know exactly what made Avatar: The Last Airbender so good in the first place. Like, you would think some people did, but current day writers don't really seem to be on point here. They don't seem to be on board here. I think they're just so used to writing either Game of Thrones or Marvel slop that they can't really handle, the writing styles of the 2000s. And see, Kyrie's hello to Kyrie's thanks for the 56 months of support. Thank you much, Kyra's Hideout. Appreciate it. Very cool indeed. Let's see. Battle Mage Arcade says, hi, all. Please keep the Marina Islands in your prayers. Wow, Category 5. Super Typhoon is on the doors. Damn. Well, stay safe. Category 5. That's pretty crazy. But yeah, stay safe. Battle Mage Arcade. Hope everything turns out all right. And see. And Kalechi Oki, thanks for the $5 super chat. Yes. And see, Nora Man says, wouldn't the Justice League be a non-for-profit? I think it would be. That doesn't mean they don't make any money. It just means they don't really make, they can't really end with a profit. So they could raise like charities or something like that, but I don't think they're funded by anybody. Except for maybe Wayne Enterprises. But then it's just a charity thing. And say, thank you much, one man. Appreciate it. See, Kachoku says, no LD. They're going to mine all of our favorite IPs in the ground. Hollywood is creatively bankrupt. Yes, again, it's kind of like the Deadpool and Wolverine. It's like, till you're 90. You're going to be doing this till you're 90, Hugh Jackman. You have no choice in the issue.
Going to be an adjustment, but it's one I think I can make. Then Toph jumps into the scene and asks Aang if Taga beat his record for longest time being frozen. Sokka follows up by asking how long he's been in the ice, and Aang surmises that based on the tattoos, the style, and the markings, the airbender has been frozen for a very...
Wait a minute. I think... So this guy is ancient and stuff like that because he's been frozen too? What? How'd that happen? How? What are you talking about? I think is this going to become like the whole... What would you say? Is it going to become like the Jedi Purge? Remember that? Where it's like the Empire led a Jedi Purge, led by Darth Vader. And in the beginning, only like Yoda and Obi-Wan Kenobi survived it, right? That's about it. And then we added on a few more survived it. Okay, no big deal. I mean, after all, Yoda and Obi-Wan survived it, maybe a few more. And then and over the years and the decades, like, okay, here's another one, another one. Like, did you guys even kill any Jedi during the Jedi Purge? Are we gonna get there? Like, are we gonna come back to like, oh yeah, this other guy is trapped in the ice, and this guy, and this guy, and this guy too? Now, to be fair, they did set up the fact that there was like another Airbender in existence in the world. Just that he's not in the shows, but he was in the card game. I think he's like a bad or evil Airbender or something like that, but just not this guy. I don't think it was this guy. But man, just whatever. Just have him. He's trapped in the ice. That's what happened. He's trapped in the ice. Okay. Let's see. Such a Falcon. Thanks for the 45 months support. It's though I was gone, my membership never wavered. Thank you much, Celestial Falcon. Appreciate. Very cool indeed. Celestial Falcon, thank you very much for the support. And well done with the takeoff there. Palestiana, thanks for the $5 super chat. Thank you much. Yes. Let's see. Am I missing something? How is the main antagonist an Airbender? Even taking LOK out, this makes no sense. Apparently, he was stuck in the ice too. So that's what they're going with. That he too was stuck in the ice. So I think he was stuck in the ice longer than Aang. That's kind of where we're getting at here. Let's see, chat. Let me see here. Guys, I misclicked. I meant to put in my member chat. Avatar can't translate well into live action, and you can't convince me otherwise. So far, they really haven't. I mean, it would be really expensive to do that, and so far, I think it has been. And but so far, the main issues with the live action Netflix version has been the writers just purposely trying to change everything for some reason. I don't know why they want to change everything, but they did. And they made all these soy decisions too. Like, oh, just everyone's more touchy feely. We have less development with Aang and the others. Aang just kind of just tells you all of his feelings instead of showing you. And Ozai is now like this kind father who just laments the fact that his son is exiled. Like, oh, I'm so sorry, Zuko, my great son. Hope you come back so victorious or whatever. And see, it's really weird. I don't know why they made these choices. Like, also Zuko beats Ozai in the Agni Kai and then spares him, and that's kind of when Ozai goes like, "Oh, you showed weakness. I got to burn you now." Instead of like Ozai being so powerful that Zuko stands no chance, and Zuko kind of prostrates himself before Ozai or whatever. So it's really bad. And man, they made Azula and her friends look frumpy as hell too. It's a Nora Mandix of chat says Batman, but everyone knows he is Bruce Wayne. But when everyone ignores it, for the sake of his ego. I think there was a skit about that where like everyone kind of just can easily figure out that it's Bruce Wayne who is Batman. And then here comes Commissioner Gordon. It's like, I know everyone figures it out, but you got to keep quiet, okay? Just keep it on the DL. We can't. And of course, it's canonical. At least, well, I'm not really sure what you count as canon, right, in the comic books, but it's almost kind of like a common occurrence for Batman villains to learn his secret identity and go, yeah, I already knew he was Batman the whole time. I don't care. I just want to fight Batman. Like, I think the Joker does this. The Riddler does this in Tom King's story. Like this, everyone knows Bruce Wayne is Batman, but they don't really care. All these like deranged psychopaths are just okay with this. We're not going to mess with Bruce Wayne. However, we do want to fight Batman. Anyway,
very, very long time. Ancient tattoos, ancient airbender. This lines up almost perfectly with what I laid out in my previous video, which I'll link to right here. The fact that Taga predates the air nomad civilization as we know it, possibly from the same era as Guru Lahima, who we learned about in Legend of Korra, and Lauga, who we learned from the Kyoshi novels. But then, and this is where the scene becomes my everything, Toph says Taga smells good. Stay with me. She says he smells good and that she thinks he might be attractive. So she asked the group, hey, can anyone confirm if this guy is actually attractive? Because, she might be blind, but she knows that, she knows what's up. The group gets uncomfortable.
I guess that's the point where like, oh yeah, Toph is definitely straight. Everyone, and that's kind of what made everyone erupt. It's like, oh no, they made Toph straight. What? Just pretty funny. Like, why are they just discussing that Toph is straight? I mean, what the hell?
Immediately, and
of course she is.
Love that because it's so true to what these characters are as adults, or at least as they were as kids, and what you expect them to be like as adults. They've been through wars together, they've saved the world, and they are still awkward around each other when it comes to anything remotely personal. The debate goes on until Zuko, stoic and serious, shuts it down by simply saying, yes, he's very attractive. Everyone starts to stare at him, and Zuko goes, well, it's all in the bone structure. I need you.
So that's the part where they say, oh yeah, Zuko says that he's attractive. So obviously Zuko must be bisexual now.
To understand, this is my favorite moment in everything I've seen so far in the leaks. Now, the fandom is already running with this as confirmation that Zuko is bisexual. And look,
no, he just called him a man can notice that another man looks handsome. Like it's not like, oh, he must be bisexual. It's kind of like if a man kind of expresses any level of emotion other than stoicism and emotional blankness, he must be gay, or bisexual. Like there's no other choice. Like you have to say that he's gay if he does anything but just stare at you with a blank face.
I get it, I understand why, but my read, this is just a heterosexual man who is completely comfortable with his own skin, giving an honest compliment. That's it. That's the whole joke. Though
it happens all the time.
I'll say this, the writers clearly knew what they were doing, leaving it open, and the fandom is going to be absolutely losing their minds over it, and rightfully so. Then Togga wakes up. He sees Toph and immediately says Earthbender and goes to attack her. So this right here, this is the moment that sold me on this entire movie's premise, because in the 2 seconds of screen time, you understand everything. And maybe I'm not sold on the premise itself, but the implications of the past and the idea that we're going to see what it was like being an Avatar in, the 400, 500 years ago. But I'm not as sold on the storyline as it's happening presently within Aang's timeline. But with this single line, with this single utterance of Earthbender and him trying to attack Toph, you understand that the world Togga comes from is much different. You understand.
I guess that part kind of makes sense, because I think if from what we go from the original show, right? If this Fire Nation are the bad guys here, I'm pretty sure that it could just have easily have been the Earth Nation that invade everybody. Like it feels like the Fire Nation just kind of beat him to it. So yeah, the air nomads don't really seem like the invading type. The water tribe people don't really seem like the type, but it seems like there are the two nations that would invade and try to conquer the world would be the Fire Nation or the Earth Nation, the Earth Kingdom. It just feel like the Fire Nation kind of beat him to it, because the Earth Kingdom doesn't really seem all that friendly either. They kind of seem like they resent the fact that the Fire Nation started their invasion before they did.
And who the enemy was in his time. And you understand why this man is built the way he is. Massive, battle-hardened, instinctual. He doesn't wake up confused. He wakes up ready to throw hands. Because where he comes from, an Earthbender isn't a neutral presence. An Earthbender is a threat. And as I laid out in my Togga video, this man comes from a time of war, likely around the same era as Guru Lahima and Lauga, a time where we've only glimpsed through the Kyoshi novels and through the Legend of Korra, a time the main show never fully explored. This is Avatar Studios finally cracking that window wide open. Then Togga asks, where is Avatar Sonam? And that's where the scene one ends, and that's where my brain starts spinning. Because now we have a name, Sonam, which we talked about in the leaks before, but now, we hear it with our own ears, so it's a little bit different. So this is an Avatar we've never heard of before, and the questions start stacking up fast. Was Sonam an airbending Avatar, an ally to Togga, or was Sonam an earthbending Avatar, potentially an enemy? And was she more war-leaning, like Togga seems to be, or was she a pacifist in the mold of Aang? And what does Togga's reaction finding out the answer tell us about where the story is going? Well, let's get into scene 2. Now, I'm going to set another spoiler warning, because while that first scene was from the beginning of the movie, it's basically setting up the premise of this entire storyline. Scene 2 comes from the freaking ending. It's literally probably the scene right before the climax of the entire movie. So again, if you are spoiler averse, this is another time for you to get off the bus. But for those of you who are curious, let's get into it. Scene 2 cuts immediately to the spirit world, and if scene 1 sold me on the premise, scene 2 sold me on the tone. We open on Sokka, and he is not happy. He's been aged down to a familiar version of himself, teenager Sokka, and he is actively complaining about where his, quote, power pony.
I guess it's kind of what happens where they get to the point where everyone is different ages, and this is the cringe part where Sokka just kind of freaks out.
He has gone because yes, as an adult, he has a more prominent ponytail going on, and basically it's gone back down to his wolf tail as we saw in the original show. Appa is missing in the spirit world, but we do have Momo, who is a floating head and a tail. And then all of a sudden, Baby Toph floats by. I don't have much to say about that, except Avatar Studios knows exactly what they're doing with the merchandise pipeline. Baby Toph plushies is already going to be an inevitable thing. Pre-order it now. We then pan it over to old Katara and old Zuko, and these are the same models we saw in The Legend of Korra.
What's funny is that they made old Zuko and old Katara specifically because they know exactly that Zutara was a big thing, so it kind of almost implied that they grew old together. Zuko and Katara kind of married and grew old together. There's a little hint. They're not really telling you directly.
Familiar faces, older bodies in the spirit world, and everyone is at a different age here, which is fascinating, and I have a lot of things to talk about that, and I think that'll be a separate video entirely. Sokka takes one look at old Katara and mistakes her for Gran. Katara is, of course, furious, and I love it for her because that's also how she always is as a character, and Katara does not play around with her dignity, and Sokka has always had this gift for saying the exact wrong thing at the right time. Then Sokka turns to old Zuko and delivers what might be the most brutally honest line in the entire league. He tells Zuko he looks like a dried sea squid. Zuko, for his part, just complains about being tired. Meanwhile, Baby Toph is pulling on Katara's hair loopies in the background. And this whole sequence is rendered in that classic anime comedic style of the original show. You know, the one where they have exaggerated.
But it's like really anime. It's just over the top quirky. And I don't know what it is. Something about the original Avatar show kind of made it charming, but then you get to Legend of Korra, and it does this. It just makes it cringe. Is there a way that they did it? It kind of feels like they did. Like they had a different way of doing it in the original series, because in Legend of Korra, and pretty much in anywhere else they've ever tried to put this anime energy into some other project, it always comes off cringe. But the original show did pretty good, and heck, even Teen Titans, the cartoon show, had the anime tropes in there too, a little bit, but it wasn't cringe. Like it kind of flowed organically. And the other projects seem like they kind of put in the anime stuff as kind of a crutch, like this. Okay, time to break up the tension here, or here's time for a laugh or something like that.
Great expressions and flat colors and chaotic energy, and I cannot overstate how much I love that they brought that back. That visual language is so specific to Avatar. Well, I mean, it's specific to anime in general, but the way that Avatar implements it was always a favored thing of mine. It's a love letter to the audience wrapped into a inside joke.
And the way they implemented it, the way they do it now is kind of cringe.
But Sokka. Then the scene shifts. Aang appears looking like a teenager, slightly older than where we left him in the original series, and he drops the mission statement. The spirit world is out of balance, and so are they. Now, I have to be honest with you here. Fans have been clowning the voice, and I get it.
Let's see. TLA was flirting. LOK was harassment. Yeah, I would say so. That's pretty accurate. Same thing with like red. What's it called? Turning red and everything. Like when they implement anime tropes, it does feel more like, hello, human resources. Can you just leave? These tropes are harassing me. But in TLA, it does feel like it was kind of just every once in a while they would bring up one of these anime tropes, and only for like in comedic purposes or whatever. Like it felt more organic as opposed to leaned on as a crutch. I don't know what exactly the specifics would be, because it's kind of almost like on instinct, like detecting these on instinct, but it definitely was different.
I really, really do. His adult voice coming out of his younger face is jarring in a way that his adult voice alone isn't. I mean, granted, they do try to age him down. I believe it's still Eric Nam, the voice actor, just trying to age his voice down. But in the context of a full movie, it's probably going to be landing fine. But seeing it in isolation like this, out of context, it's a lot. It's one of those things where in a vacuum of leaks, it works against it. And, it's jarring because we know what young Aang.
Could you imagine they did this for another like any other cartoon series where it's just a bunch of white guys? Could you imagine if they took something like, they made like a Western version of Vinland Saga, like if they had like a Viking, they followed like a Viking guy and his adventures, and then they would get voice actors. I'm like, no, you can't. Sorry, only white voice actors only. Got to match the race of the character. Even though you're not really going to see the race of the voice actor because you're a voice actor, But no, you can't do it. Philomar, yeah, you'd be pretty good for this guy, but you're not white, so get out of here.
Sounds like. Then we cut to Taga, and he's holding a staff, and this staff appears to be what's powering all of this. Aang explains that Taga is trying.
How come Batista can voice this guy? Is this guy Latino? Is this like a Latino airbender? Like, isn't Batista voicing this guy? Like, I don't think Batista is like a Tibetan or something.
To pull Avatar Sonam's temple, her entire time period, into the present, into Aang's timeline. And this is almost certainly how Taga had the power to hold up an entire mountain in that first scene. It wasn't just his chi, it was the staff amplifying it. Now, the staff itself has a design that feels reminiscent of Rava. That top of it looks exactly like her design. I think that's intentional, but I also think they're going to be very careful of not naming her directly, because at this point in the timeline, Rava is a forgotten spirit. We only know her as the Avatar spirit. We don't rediscover her until the time of Korra, so whatever the staff is, it's adjacent to that mythology without being fully...
Let's see, Chet. We got a guest in the back room. Let's see who this could possibly be. Let's see. Here we go.
Don't talk to me. I know you're a pervert under there.
Yeah.
And welcome, Stu of the Stu Crew.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Are we winning today?
Doing pretty good so far. We got $30 for the next and final stream of Amazing Digital Circus, which was fun last time. I put on public on Twitch. Everyone can go see that. We watched it with Stu.
Sweet. When did you want to do that? Because I think from Wednesday till Monday I'm busy.
I don't know, because I guess maybe next Tuesday, if we make it, though. We got to make it first.
Of course. Yeah.
We're $30 there, but we still got some ways to go.
We can't let the peasants let us watch television for free now, can we?
Exactly. Let's see. Dr. H Daddy PNG Entai, aka LD Super Chats. That's a long name, Stu.
There was a lot in that.
First of his name, Protector of the Andals, the first man. And see,
there was a lot going on in that one.
And see, but did you see that the leaks of the Avatar movie, Stu, this weekend?
No.
Apparently, somehow someone at the studio leaked the entire movie, and there were like clips going around. To me, it's kind of so. And then the main plot is that there is another airbender that was locked in ice. So Aang was not the first guy to do that.
No, that's not real. That can't be real. Because he used water bending to do it, and he had to survive in the Avatar state for 100 years.
No, Stu, that's dumb. All right, that's just dumb. That's dumb Nazi talk.
Okay, you're right.
So what happened was this guy gets trapped in the ice from like a bygone age, I guess.
Oh, okay.
And he's got all these super tattoos, and he's way cooler than Aang is, and he's way stronger than the Avatar is, G-wise, and he's voiced by Batista for some reason.
I genuinely can't tell if you're joking right now.
I think he is voiced by Batista, which is funny because like is Batista Tibetan or something like that? Because remember, this movie made news because they fired all the voice actors, so they can get brand spanking new voice actors that match the race of the characters that they are voicing in this fantasy world. Yep. So I guess they found an actual airbender, an actual Earth Nation person in real life to get in there and voice them. Although the two main things that popped up from the leaks, Stu, is that a lot of the fans are angry that they made Toph really straight, and they're excited that Zuko is bisexual, and so we went over the clips. So what happened is they thawed out the bad guy. You know, they thought out Batista, and Toph was like, he smells handsome. Is he handsome? Because I can't see him. And then no one wants to answer. Then Zuko goes, yeah, he's kind of handsome. And that's the basis as to why Zuko is bisexual now. And also why Toph is, unfortunately for everyone else, straight.
It's funny.
Even though it's like it's been pretty canonical that Toph has been straight since the beginning. Yeah. Let's see. But yeah, so apparently like this that's kind of the story. I think there was another airbender that was stuck in the ice. Now the only interesting thing I found so far is that when he sees Toph, he's like, earthbender must kill. So apparently he's from a time in which the Earthbender and the Air Nation people were kind of at war.
Mhm.
And that's kind of what we know so far. Alex Halo looks 2 has chances. I just post the clip LD is talking about in Discord. I don't think I can play that though, because they're taking down every single one of these leaked clips. Because so I really can't show you anything because I keep taking them down. Let's see.
Named, which I actually is smart writing if they do pull that off. And this is where the multiverse angle kicks in properly. Taga is just a man out of time. He's actively trying to collapse 2 timelines into one. And that's where my original concern about this feeling like a side quest becomes more complicated. Because if the stakes are literally just the fabric of time, why does this all still feel so self-contained? That's the question the movie is going to have to answer, at least for me. And I'm not really sure they're going to do it successfully. Then a new spirit shows up.
I definitely watch this movie if somehow it turns into that Korra was never canon. This whole thing is we're going to mess the timelines. We're going to cancel the timeline in which Korra existed.
As a professional Korra, what is it? Apologist. I'm okay with this. I fix that fucking show, man. Like, I like you guys ruined her. Like,
see, the new Korra will just be like a regular person, I guess. But yeah, I would definitely watch the movie if the end of this whole thing is that Korra ends up being non-canon. That'd be so funny.
that would be funny.
It's like the undoing one more day, right? It's just like that level of repairing the continuity.
A warthog spider monkey creature thing, and he starts describing the group's relationship to each other. Sokka and Aang are brothers in his opinion. Toph is their little sister, and Zuko and
I remember that scene happening.
Katara are an elderly couple. Aang corrects him immediately, of course. The spirit goes, oops, touched a nerve there. First off of all, this is incredible. Second of all,
Spirit is also a Zutara pusher.
This is a direct wink at the Zutara shippers, and I'm here for the chaos that's going to bring in the comment section. The writers know the fandom. They always have known the fandom, and they are playing with it deliberately. The spirit explains that he's been living in Sonam's temple, but the dark energy corrupting it has made it uninhabitable, and so he got out. Aang, being Aang, immediately volunteers to fix it because it's his duty as the Avatar.
Duty. See, Alex the truth is, but if Korra doesn't exist, she can't ruin the world. Well, in that case, well, that'd be kind of crazy. Like, okay, so in the regular timeline, we're going to end up with Korra. After Aang is going to be Korra, and that's no good. She's going to ruin the world and the line of avatars. So I need to change trajectory here, and we need to stop this from happening. Because to me, that'd be like, if there's going to be anyone who's going to time travel to stop something from happening, it would be to stop Korra from ever existing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Palestine, this is the 5. Zuko is socially awkward and blunt. He seems like the one to say, yeah, that guy's good looking, and he is. That does fit. That does fit. I'm just saying that doesn't mean he's bisexual.
No, like these people will just do whatever they can just to, like,
they want to plant their flags, dude. They plant their flag on Zuko.
It's obnoxious.
To me, their ultimate goal is that they want to make sure that they want to find some argumentation, or some series of argumentations to make sure that none of the characters are straight. They don't have to necessarily be gay or lesbian, as long as they're not straight.
Mm-hmm.
And they've won. They can settle for that. And see your chat. But thank you much, Palestine and Alex. Hello, appreciate it. Go and switch it over to 39. Thank you much, everyone. Appreciate it.
And the scene ends there. And look, taken together, these two scenes paint a pretty clear picture of what this movie is and what it isn't. It's funny, it's warm, it feels like home in a way I generally did not expect. But the multiverse mechanic is still my biggest concern.
I think you say.
I'm telling this guy, shut the fuck up. It's warm, it's home.
Shut up. It feels like home. It feels warm. It feels like home. Like, no, I don't think it does so far. Tamer Spoon says, you may be a cringe Zutara shipper, but do you have the courage to be an even cringier Fire Foursome shipper? What's Fire Foursome? It's like Zuko with Tylee, Mai, and Azula?
I'm okay with this.
That's what I'm assuming.
I'm okay with all that. Whatever you just described, I'm here for it. Let's go.
Zuko
Prince
says-
Zuko gets to be King Zuko here. Listen,
King Zuko. Very, very kingly too, because there's incest involved.
yeah, exactly. Like, bro, it's got it all. Like, it's got everything you could possibly want in a problematic ship.
And Zion Crow says Stuart only likes Korra because she is ambiguously brown. I think it's true.
First of all, yes. Second of all, shut the fuck up. Mind your own goddamn business.
Third of all, yes. Because as LD Korra was still the least bad post original series thing they made, in my opinion, which isn't really saying much, to be honest. I don't remember anything after Avatar: The Airbender. I don't think anything exists after that. Like anything after Frozen Throne is fan fiction. All right.
Because we've seen the story before in other franchises, and it almost always ends the same way. It's going to be a reset, a restoration of the timeline, which means whatever happened didn't.
I do like this theory. It's going to be a reset, restoration of timeline, which means, to me, that means Korra's out. I do like this idea.
Really happen. So, you know, the whole idea that this feels like a side quest, not a main venture. When I first saw these leaks, I was braced for disappointment. I had my arms crossed. I was ready to come on here and be like, you know, a little skeptical. And then something happened. The more I watched it, I'd probably watched these leaks about 3 or 4 times before I made this video. I actually really, really enjoyed it. And that's usually the case with Avatar. Usually when I rewatch stuff, whether it's like, you know, The Legend of Korra, the original show, I enjoy it more and more. Same
Geez. Okay, now I know where we are. What do you mean you enjoyed more and more?
is the case with these leaks. But I'm still, this multiverse stuff is a hard, it's going to be a hard sell for me, that's for sure. And speaking of breakdowns, we've only covered 2 scenes today, but the full script leak, that's going to be a whole other conversation, probably a live stream. And we're absolutely going to have it. And I'm probably going to do some more breakdowns based on some.
Who is this guy, and why do we care?
His name is Antoine Bandele.
Sure.
Let's see here. But there we go, chat. There is the Avatar leaks that kind of occurred over the weekend. It was kind of interesting. So people were going over it, and Toph was apparently straight, and that's a bad thing. There's literally zero evidence that she's lesbian or bisexual or anything. And then Zuko's like, oh, yeah, he's a handsome man. Boom. Bisexual. Like, you can't express any, as a man, Stu, you can't express any emotions, or else you're just gay, apparently.
Completely true. Yeah, no, I got accused of that. No, I'm joking. I don't know where I'm going.
It's
with
a nice
this.
shirt, man. This is a pretty good shirt. Oh, gay. Bisexual.
Damn it, I wasn't ready to come out yet.
Let's see. Oh, no, he's French. Let's see. All right. And there are no sequels, remakes, or prequels. And Bossing Say. Bossing Say sounds like an awesome place to live. You know, did you ever watch Ben Yati Croshaw, the Zero Punctuation guy? He's a video game reviewer, and he's pretty good, a pretty likable video game reviewer. He actually had made a few books, like Mog World and stuff. I think he made a book that's called Jam.
Okay.
But what thing he did say was that, how about we make a rule that there's no more sequels to anything? And he's like, yeah, sure, we'll miss out on some really cool sequels, but I think it's a good price to pay.
Yeah, at this point, like, the sequel game is a complete net negative on everybody, and I think we're all just fucking tired of it.
I think so too. This is tired of all these sequels, remakes, reboots. It would force Hollywood to put money into new stuff. It's Norm, man. What do you say?
I was at this point, it's just cultural appropriation, like, completely unironically. Where they're taking our childhood and they're raping it for money, and like they literally are.
They kind of are, yeah. Like literally. It's kind of like that thing from South Park where it has like George Lucas and Steven Spielberg raping in Indiana Jones.
Yeah. And at this point, it completely is, because now they're doing it and they're purposely like trying to piss us off. And they're like, I did it because it makes the chuds upset. And it's just like, why would you do that? Like, you're not gaining money from it. You're not doing anything from it. You're being a malicious actor. So
makes kids upset. That's about it.
It's just cultural appropriation, complete and unironic cultural appropriation. You're allowed to culturally appropriate these people.
You're allowed to culturally appropriate as long as you make the chuds angry, I think. It's fine. It's like I'm pretty sure, like I said earlier, I'm pretty sure if they made like a Viking, like an animated Viking show in the West, they wouldn't be worried about, oh, are you white enough to voice this character? I don't think they'll do that. I'm pretty sure they'll just hire anybody that fits the role.
Of course they wouldn't. Yeah. That's not on brand for the message.
The message. No, man, this find it is Aang and Gang save the world from Korra in the future series. That would be a movie I'd watch. It's all about Aang and the gang kind of like fighting this guy, and then like, oh, wait a minute. You want to erase? He's like, no, wait, hold on, guys, hold on. I'm here to save the future from this horrible event that's going to happen. It's called Korra. Avatar Korra will destroy the line of avatars and set the world towards annihilation. She must be stopped. And then like, okay, we'll do that. And then they do it. And boom, Korra is non-canon. That'd be awesome.
That would be pretty cool.
Pretty cool. See, Aang and the Gang said the from the Korra future series. Alex Hale looks at the $5 protects says, in Fire Force, the main character gets 2 girls. One is crazy witch girl who forced himself on him.
Nice.
I mean, the land of like autistic weebs, that's like a positive, right? Pretty sure. Let's see. And then Carla Padilla 2 says, are we not allowed to kiss the homies to sleep? I thought we were. How else do you put the homies to sleep?
I don't know what he's talking about. I feel like he obviously knows that everything's okay by kissing the homies goodnight.
Absolutely. Yes. Norman, says, we did it, everybody. We erased Korra from the timeline. Aang probably. Yeah, we did. Like, I don't know who she was, but I'm glad we saved the world. We saved the Avatar as both a person and a lineage, also as a franchise. And so your chat. Ghost says Hollywood would force Black Vikings into. Yeah, probably would. Probably just make like Leif Erikson, who was I think a redhead. Just make him black, a black woman in Vikings. Wait a minute. They made Leif Erikson a black woman in Vikings. Like, that's real. Valhalla, and they made Astrid in live action showed How to Train Your Dragon black. Yeah, there weren't really black Vikings. They're kind of a
there never were. Yeah. Anyone who says otherwise is just trying to confuse you.
Trying to sell you something, princess.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, chat. All right. So here's a little thing that was kind of interesting. I point this out and kind of resonate with people. Apparently, I'm up to 30,000 likes on this post. But I said, this is why Gen Z needs to be ironic about everything. Showing true passion is scary because it'll immediately be mocked. The internet made sincerity terrifying for a whole generation. It did, and it's like, look at this, how it feels to be called annoying. So I was told to shut up after being genuinely excited about something, and that is an experience I think everyone can have, or everyone has. But I think it's gotten worse for Gen Z. Like, Gen Z really got hit with this because people have noticed this, not just me. Other people have noticed this, that Gen Z has to be ironic about everything. That's kind of why the humor follows suit. I don't blame Gen Z for this. I blame millennials.
Yeah,
it's definitely our generation's fault that this is happening.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything must be like, you like that? Oh, how can you like that? That's just, obviously you're retarded. So this is kind of why everyone has to like express things ironically. Like, oh yeah, I like this. Oh yeah, I don't really like it. I like it because explain ironic reason here, you know.
Dude, I had last night. I've talked about my disciple a lot, right? My disciple's boyfriend decided last night was a good time for a chat, and we stayed up talking for like 4.5 hours.
What kind of chat? Like a hostile chat, or?
Well, he wanted to know. We really never talked. I text his fucking girlfriend every day, so he's like, all right, like,
who's this guy?
yeah, is this in the up and up? And like, I think he determined, yeah, I'm fine. But like, every time the conversation got really serious for a minute, he couldn't fucking handle it. And
yeah, it's like make a joke or something, right?
He had to make a joke every time. Like, he was afraid of the sincerity. And we talked about some heavy fucking stuff. It was like a 4-hour conversation that starts with, what do you know about the weather? And you remember my talk a little while ago where I was explaining how the weather like determines the IQ of the average person, and like, that's a very serious conversation, and he handled it fine, but like, he just undercut it with jokes so often. I was wondering, is like, dude, are you okay? Are you able to talk about this? That kind of stuff. And like he could, it's just they can't process sincerity for too long. They need to take a break.
And it's kind of the same thing we see in the movies too, where it's like the one I keep going. I'll see it's kind of weird saying this is my favorite example, but it's the most clearest example is Thor: Love and Thunder, when he's like seeing that Valkyrie is dying, she's missing an arm, and he's like, suddenly we have this joke about, oh, maybe your arm is in Valhalla. It's kind of like that, where it should be a scene, like a very serious scene of Valkyrie having been in this brutal battle. She lost an arm, he's probably going to die. But then we have to jump to, okay, I'm ready to go Valhalla. Well, you're not going to go to Valhalla because you have to die in the battle to Valhalla. So maybe your arm was in Valhalla. It's like that. Like they just completely suck the all the energy out of the scene, and now it's a funny scene, I guess. Mahler talks about this too in multiverse, the multiverse of madness or something, where it begins with like a conversation about the blip and how I lost like half, I lost my cats or something like that, or the guys they're talking about the blip and how the tragedy that followed out. So even if you got people back, it's like my cats died because no one was there to care for them. I got blipped out and I came back, and he's like, I lost my cats. He's like, oh, okay. Oh, and my brother. And Lawler points out, like, okay, is this a funny scene? Is this like a serious scene? Because I lost my cats. It's kind of humorous, and then he's like, oh, I lost my brother. That's pretty serious.
Yeah.
And so it's like we have to. It's like we have to have one scoop of serious and one scoop of comedy with every single moment, and so it does get confusing. It's like, okay, is this a serious scene? Is this a comedy scene? Like, what am I supposed to be feeling here? Because every single time you have even a hint of seriousness, it has to be immediately followed up with some humor, and it gets like it kind of kills the moment.
Yeah. And the thing is too, I don't necessarily even blame like these generations for it. They've been fed, slop. It's like they've been fed trash. They're not, they've been told forever they're not allowed to feel things, because if you feel things, that makes you either gay or that makes you I don't know, a chud or an idiot or something.
It makes you an idiot. Like, it doesn't make you an idiot, but that's perception these days. It's kind of like if you're like a really loud about your religion or something like that, like, oh yeah, I love Jesus and I love going to church. Oh, you're like a low IQ idiot, right? It's just kind of like every single thing. It's not just religion; it's every single thing. So if you're like, oh yeah, I really love Warhammer 40K, I really love Warcraft, I really love, which I do. I really like Elden Ring, which I also do. I love Elden Ring a lot, or something like that. And you just talk about it. Your enthusiasm, it must be because you are a low IQ moron. Yeah. And that your whole world is obsessed with this. Like it's not actually true, but that's perception. So you have like, oh yeah, I like that. Oh, you like that? Why? Oh, because a few jokes here and there. When you actually, the reasons why you like it are more profound and a lot deeper than that.
Yeah, it's that's kind of the worst part. Is like, yeah, if you can articulate it like you're autistic, it's great that we have this accepting of autism now and people are understanding it more. I do appreciate that, actually. But like now it's like, if you just show any passion whatsoever, oh, you must be on the tism.
Yeah, because real people don't show passion for anything, apparently.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's sad that you view it that way, but okay. Like,
yeah, like what? Just it is really sad, because you should be able to express yourself about different things you like. And see, I like the 10 cheers. Is the other girl gets in Fire Force is a nun. YouTube doesn't like the word nun. Why? It's a weird word not to like. YouTube, it's kind of weird. Let's see, and then Mecha Spider-Man next to 2 says to all favorite superhero and supervillain and why. My favorite superhero is Superman, although it kind of changed between, sometimes it's I do like Green Lantern and Batman, kind of the second tier. Supervillain would be, I would like, the main one would be the Joker, but that's kind of basic. But I like the Joker because of at his best is when he's challenging Batman on his morals and his ethics. Not just being a crazy weirdo or wackaloon. Like, I like it when he has like a really deep plan to challenge Batman on a really deep psychological level. That part's cool. I like that part. Although the thing is, my real favorite supervillain would be the Riddler. Just in general, like blanket. I like him. So I tend to like the Joker more when he's challenging Batman on the psychological, ethical level. But I like the Riddler every time he shows up because he's usually pretty charming outside of trash bag Riddler. You get from the movie.
One of my workers like had a weird crush on him.
Which one? The trash bag Riddler?
Yeah, the trampy one. She had a weird crush on trash bag Riddler.
Why? That's what the incel Riddler. They kind of made him an incel for.
I could not begin to explain this girl's tastes, but for a minute, and to be honest, like part of me is like, it's a little admirable in the sense that I'm glad she's giving guys a chance who would never have a chance with a girl like her. She is pretty.
4chan guy. This is a 4chan Riddler.
Yeah, but like, you know, she had a weird taste in men that I could not articulate.
Like the Disciple?
No, the Disciple's actually pretty like she's actually kind of basic. The trampy employee, the one who I'm trying to explain without saying names. We're just good pals. The one who I crashed at her house during that storm I was telling you about.
Yeah, that's when you watched that one
Gushing Over Magical Girls. Yeah.
Let's see. I have a whole show about that. Isn't that just like make a whole show about how I like Star Trek? It's like this. Okay, can you get a whole series about that? Let's see. I guess it's like a little bit more than I like this thing. It's if it's gushing, you know.
Yeah.
Let's see. Megalithon. Make sure that's $10 super chat. Thank you very much, Megalithon. Appreciate it. Oh my goodness. Thank you very much, Megalithon says, yes, Yahtzee books were the first audiobooks I grabbed on Audible. I love going back and listening to Will Save the Galaxy for Food is a pretty funny one too. Actually, he's pretty good. He's a very British humor related. Like Mog World was based off of World of Warcraft because he made that during like the World of Warcraft era. And it's like about this guy who gets killed, I think, doing something. And he's like going to heaven and he gets dragged back down by a necromancer and forced to go, fight in his army.
Okay.
And he has like 4 or 5 endings.
Interesting.
Let's see. And definitely Morpheus. Morphouse. Let's see. Thank you much, Megalithon. Appreciate it. Then Alexander Two says, if I was told I'm annoying, then I'll be more annoying. Pretty sure that's accurate. Let's see. That person says, wait a minute. Vikings are known for raping and pillaging villages. They want to turn them black? It's interesting because to me, they keep going on and on about how orcs are black people, but really, to me, orcs are more like Vikings. In terms of even in Warcraft 3, they have a move called pillage. It allows you to, hit buildings of the enemy and then gain a little bit of money and wood from it.
Mm-hmm.
So, to me, they're more like Vikings. The way the Vikings were, they would rush around and pillage and burn down villages and everything. Even in Crusader Kings 3, if you are of a Viking culture, you can go around and raid. It's awesome. It just lets you pillage all this gold and stuff. It's pretty cool. Let's see. It is really tough if you're a small nation, it really is tough to get money there. Let's see. Where are we now? I will always be proud that one of my top favorite anime of all time is Black Rock Shooter and how it confuses people that I've liked it so much. What's Black Rock Shooter?
I don't
I've
know.
never heard that before. Let's see. Let's see here. Hamilton Burger says the only correct best superhero is Gambit. I mean, Gambit was really cool.
He was cool, yeah.
Let's see. Let me see. Posthuman says, can't question nature, LD. Nature has a strange way of dealing with things. It really does.
There are rules of nature.
Yeah, quite a few, actually.
Oh, that's a song reference. Maybe I wasn't clear on that one.
Our tribals can raid in the CK3 LD, but Vikings and nomads do it better now. Vikings are really good at it. You can actually mold your guy to raid really, really well. Where you don't really need any time at all. Not much at all. Let's see. And then I think we got everything. We got caught up on everyone. Fantastic. All right. Kind of update this. Here we go. Doing pretty good, chat. Doing pretty good. We're up to 66 for the day. All right. All right. All right. All right. So, yeah, we get to 400 by the end of the week, at the very least. Get to 400 by the end of the week, and boom, amazing digital circus. We're going to complete it. And when the final episode comes out, which I think is in July, we'll do that one too. We'll do that one too.
I'm excited. I bought tickets to go see the event. Like I'm stoked. I'm gonna be real.
And people are. I mean, it's a pretty good show. It's like a. To me, I would prefer watching this over Hazbin Hotel at this point.
Well, yeah, Hazbin Hotel has its own set of problems for sure.
I did rewatch the scene where the singing Daisy. I watched it a couple times. I like that scene.
Oh, the give me your answer.
The answer do.
That was good. Like, it took me my second watch to catch what was happening because I forgot that Jax was taunting her like that at the beginning. That was really good.
It's really Kane was stand outside the door. I think. And for some reason, Jax has a key to her door for some reason.
Jax has a key to everybody's door, and that's problematic and funny. You know.
Here we go. All right. So there you go. So yeah, it's really strange that today there is a war of authenticity. Like, people want it, but they don't want to. But they tend to mock it quite a bit. Like, they want it from certain people. But if you're like in a friend group or online, like, you like this, you're retarded, something like that.
Yeah, well, it's risky. It's risky to. No one wants to be the guy. One of the things we were talking about is we believe that many political people deserve to be arrested for things, and I was
Various things.
Like, I think the safe one that we could do here. It's like, do you want to be the guy that arrests a former president? No, you don't. You do not want to be the guy that does that. Because you will have a target on your back forever, no matter what president it is. And you're
gonna have a target on your back. Yeah, you're gonna make history.
Exactly. And it's like that with everything. Do you want to be the guy to make yourself vulnerable in front of your friends and come off as cringe? When we were growing up, it was never cringe, but it was gay. So like,
yeah, that's pretty on point. Yeah, I think so. That's how it goes. But celebrate the idea of Avatar, the movie. I found this video by Samwise, Master Samwise. Why Avatar? Why indeed?
Man, you ready for dinner? Oh yeah, almost. Just a couple more sets to do. Dude, did you even start your workout? What have you been doing?
Scrolling on my phone. Have you seen that at the gym before, where like a guy does a set, he spends like an hour on his phone?
I have not been to the gym in probably, I don't know, 4 years. So I do have a garage and I got all my equipment there. So, and I do that precisely because I fucking hate the gym scene, man. I don't ever want to go to the gym again. Listen, I got my own garage. I've got a TV in there. I can watch all the problematic shit I want. I don't need to wear clothes. It's my fucking garage, all right?
Just lifting naked. Sounds pretty good. Let's see. But yeah, the people do that. I just oh yeah, one set down, doom scroll on their phone for an hour. All right, time for the second set. Like, all right. Just hogging that thing all day.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. You put on that show to watch while lifting and got so engrossed you've never even put weights on the bar. Yeah. Again. Yeah. I do not understand how that cartoon makes you lose your mind.
That kind of reminds me of that one video someone took where it's in a gym but they put on Dragon Ball Z and everyone stopped to watch it.
Yeah. I know exactly the video.
This guy says it's a fun fact about the scene. It's a reference to the first song ever sung by computer, which was Daisy Bell. I'll post in video stream memes. Less than 2 minutes long.
That's right. No, I remember that. I remember hearing about that.
Is that why Howl sings it too? Like in a Space Odyssey? He sings it as well.
100%. That is why that's happened. That's a really good. Oh yeah. No. Have you figured out Kane's bit yet? Like there's a thing behind Kane, and it's really obvious once they state it. You're like, oh shit, why didn't I think about it? But like, no, there's something wrong with Kane very clearly. But
Well, yeah,
do you?
that's from the first episode. Like, there's something clearly wrong with him. Like, he's just going kind of insane.
Mhm.
And that if there isn't something, if something doesn't go exactly his way in terms of like the overarching, like the way he handles things, he gets depressed, or he goes kind of crazy or insane. And he has a reboot in the last episode.
Yeah.
And Ziggle's like, I want to be able to have sex in the adventure, and he had to reboot.
Yeah.
Oh, Zooble. So it's pretty interesting.
Seen it like 10 times. 12. Dude, seriously, it's a kid's show. Avatar isn't just a show for children, okay? It's
See, we'll spend the 10 years. Do you back extensions, Stu? Do you do back like do you back extensions? What? Do you do back extensions? I think it was something entirely different.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, what the fuck? As far as I've got a 5-day dumbbell routine, and I just use dumbbells for everything. I don't do any wacky cable shit. I just good old fashioned iron to floor to arm to lift. You know, like I'm not fancy like that. As far as my back workouts, I do tripods, and I do rows essentially. I also have been trying to do pull-ups, but a guy my size doing a pull-up is very difficult because I am still 250 pounds. A lot of it is muscle, but some of it is still very, very chubby. So I'm a heavy guy. It's a lot to pull up.
Let's see. And then I've tried it once and my back was killing me for a week. I didn't know how weak a lower back can get.
Yeah. I recommend, if you're a big person and if you want to exercise your back, you want to do as many, and provided you don't like have a way to do pull-ups. Pull-ups are like pull-ups, squats, push-ups, and sit-ups are pretty much all you'll ever need. And if you do like 100, if you could reach 100 of those a day on each exercise, you're actually in better shape than I would say like 80% of the world. Now, if you are weak and you need to get there, and if you have dumbbells to lift, I would do deadlifts, meaning like stand up straight, bend yourself in half so you're like a right angle, grab two dumbbells, and then lift with your back to stand straight up again. Those are a type of like dead man deadlifts or whatever. I don't fucking know. But that will strengthen your lower back very, very quickly. But you got to be super careful. Now I've been lifting for about 7-8 years now, so I'm used to overextending myself. But if I suspect many people in chat try what I do with very heavy weights, you're gonna fuck yourself up. So be careful.
Let's see. Do burpees. Everyone hates burpees, but not that bad. Unless a drill sergeant can like say, "Do it, go."
Burpees do nothing for you other than get you good at burpees.
We're really good at burpees.
Yeah, like it's a completely pointless like cardio.
Everyone hates them. Everyone just despises burpees because they do kind of suck.
Yeah. If
So
you
much
need to
more.
work. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
What is that?
No, I said if you need to work on your discipline, yeah, burpees are fine, but like you want to enjoy your workout. It's my favorite part of the day. I get high less when I work out because I don't need to get high.
That makes sense.
than that. Look, just give it a chance. Watch a few episodes with me, and if you hate it, I'll never bring it up again. Okay? Okay. Fine. Whatever. Oh.
Let's see here. What's this? Okay, I guess it's like the premise of this guy has never watched Avatar before. Every episode except The Great Divide. Which one is The Great Divide?
That was the one where they passed over that canyon. And
is that it? Like the where he's like the ball game that divided everybody. Is that it?
Yeah.
The prissy ones and like the why? That's a fun episode.
It's obnoxious. It's
kind of a useless episode and overall, like it doesn't really happens like canonic like the story wise, but
for kids it's a good lesson to explain how certain histories can be exaggerated. Like I tell people like one of my favorite story arcs is Fishman Island because Hody Jones is actually very underrated in explaining how race relations work.
Exactly. Well, here's the thing, though. I guess people don't like it also because Aang lies at the end too. Like the Aang tells a lie, and that solves everything.
That's a good point. I didn't think of that.
People
Yeah.
might not like that, I guess, because like, oh, lying shouldn't be able to solve this issue.
Oh my gosh. Right?
Why Avatar? It's a perfectly legitimate question.
You know, who's also asking that? The Monday writers of Avatar. How did they do this?
Why has this animated series from the early 2000s stayed with us for so long, refusing to let go of the hearts and minds of its audience despite the passage of 2 full decades? How is it that a show written to be digestible by 7-year-old kids is widely viewed as one of the most profound and meaningful stories in modern times?
Well, that's kind of why we can't just be like, oh, it's for kids. It can be terrible. Like, no, I think the opposite attitude should be in place. It's for kids. It should be, the toppest tier. It should be, a lot of concern, a lot of care, a lot of passion poured into it. Because adults can watch something terrible and be like, oh yeah, I know how to sort this out. Like I know what's important, what isn't, where they went wrong, where they don't. Where kids kind of absorb it all. They don't know what is good, what is wrong, what is bad, what is a lie, or anything of that. So, I think the things made for kids should be given more care, not less.
Was it that changed the mind of that reluctant roommate in the opening skit? Why is Avatar: The Last
That wasn't your roommate. That was you.
Airbender so special? A large part of the reason is because it doesn't try to be. Now, ATLA is an exceptionally creative work of art, don't get me wrong, but it didn't get there by trying to subvert expectations, undermine stereotypes, or buck traditional storytelling norms.
It's wanted to make a good story. It wasn't trying to tackle any meta issues. Like, oh, we gotta see. Usually we have this, so we're gonna have to fight against that trope or that tradition or something like that by just doing the opposite for no reason whatsoever other than to do the opposite.
Its plot, setting,
Action Punk says Fisherman Island stew is underrated. Yes, stew.
It really is.
Having Fisher Tiger, Jimbei, but most of all socioeconomic factors forcing a fisherman to enslave a child and go. You know what else they did with this story, Stu, with One Piece? Obviously, woke works. I mean, look at One Piece. How is this woke? They're fighting the one world government. That's like the exact opposite of woke.
They're too stupid to understand. They do not understand like advanced themes. Their nuance doesn't exist to them. They just see something vaguely tangentially related and then they claim ownership of it. It's not just TV. it's super obnoxious because it's like, what am I trying to say? Because oh god, I got opinions on this, but
go. Or I guess you'll be busy for Weeb Day, so I guess you can't do that there.
But no, for sure. But
oh man, you're gonna be busy with Weeb Day. I was gonna finish at least season 1 of ReZero because I started watching it again.
I'm sorry, I would, but like, no, I
ReZero is brutal. It's like, man, this is brutal, and the main character's annoying as hell. But I understand why he's annoying, but it doesn't stop him from being annoying.
I don't want to say he gets better, but he gets better. He's.
I mean, he has to be. Even if he stays annoying like this, it can't possibly be like him. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Because people keep saying, "Hey, would you stop like putting your needs before everyone else, and like stop being insane, and like stop thinking that really we gotta get out of here, you stupid bitch, get it, let's go." Like this behavior is not going to be working out for you that well, Subaru. It's just not going to work.
I do like how the show even calls him out. It's like, bro, you know nothing about this world. What the fuck do you think you're doing?
Exactly. She keeps going like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, what do you mean it's all for me? Like, it really feels like it's more for you. And it is. He's really doing this for him. Like, he's just assuming that she kind of understands where he's coming from, but she doesn't. Because he never explains himself. He's just like, I'm going to do this because it'll make everything better. But he never actually explains himself to Amelia or anyone really. He kind of just does these crazy things. And she's like, whoa, why are you doing these crazy things? You keep saying this for me, but I never really asked you to do any of this stuff. Like, why are you doing this?
It's creepy fucking behavior, man. Like, it's really weird.
And I got to the episode where he's just like, I did all this stuff. Everything turned out well because of me. You owe me more than you could ever repay. I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have said that.
It's like getting a little incel there, huh? Like
Exactly. It's like, man, that sucks. I was like, oh, come on, Subaru. And then he spends like 2 episodes like just being insane and crazy. Like, this guy is just not likable right now.
He isn't. I do not understand like Subaru's direct appeal, but like it's still good. Like, I like it. It's just
Everything else is good. Like, the Subaru gets kind of annoying. I kind of root for him in the beginning, but once he goes like, you owe me more than you could ever pay. Come on, man. She told you not to follow her. You should have stayed behind. She told you not to come with her. You made everything worse, and then now you're just complaining that she's mad at you and stuff. And Amelia is like the most patient person you will ever see.
Yeah.
What? Like, she's still trying to understand him and everything, even though he's going freaking insane.
I don't think he ever directly says that he likes her like that. I think he just wants her to know. And
yeah,
like he's mad at her for not reading his mind.
it's like, this is kind of ironic.
Right? Like, the dude acts really fucking weird sometimes. I'm not in love with Subaru. Alex loves him, but like,
Alexa's not the only one who's like, this guy's kind of annoying and stupid. I don't really like him all that much. I do want him to win because I do know the pain he's going through, and he went through all kinds of crap. I know what he's going through. So just because he's annoying, I'm like, okay, well, I still kind of want him to win because he's going through a lot. He is trying, but he's still annoying, unfortunately.
I love it when shows can pull that off, where the guy is insufferable in the beginning, and by the end, it's like, yeah, you fucking earned that shit, man.
Yeah, because he does really try. He keeps going and keeps going, and but he's like, stop. I was like, stop freaking out for 5 minutes. Stop it. Get your head together. Get focused. Because, like, in fact, even the bad guys call him out. Like, you did nothing to save Rem. You did nothing to go save Amelia. You just kind of were just heroic blue screening for like an entire playthrough. He's like, you're a slothful idiot, Subaru. And like, yeah, you did nothing. Like, we went through all that, and you came back to life. And you didn't go and try to save everybody. You just kind of like blue screened and had Rem do all the work. Well, yeah, of course, you're not going to win. Let's see. But Megathon, this dude, Fish Island has the unfortunate fate of, I guess, fate of being the first arc to show how powerful the Straw Hats have become. But is Fishman arc the one with Nami, or is that the later one?
You're thinking Arlong. No, it's not the one with Nami. It is the one after the time skip, and not only is it after the time skip, it's also just a very long story that isn't very good. Like, it just drags on forever, and it talks about race relations, and it tries to talk about race relations in a way that also doesn't offend anybody, and that's hard to do. I would say, even with the most sincere of intentions,
that is pretty tough to do. It's kind of why we need to save like the races should, inside of a fantasy world, should stay inside of a fantasy world. We shouldn't be really making like the real world comparisons, because then we could talk about the issues instead of going, oh, this is standing for this minority or that minority. Let's see. Have Straw Hats have become Fatal in the Ashes says, I felt that sigh, Stu. Like 10 years. What after said, like, oh yeah, the woke people are like, oh yeah, you want to see wokeness succeed, and we'll just look at One Piece. And because they fight the government, they're very like rebellious, I guess, or something like that. I'm pretty sure they think everyone's gay. So I'm pretty sure that's kind of where they're coming from, because they're fighting the power.
They cry that it's woke, and then immediately get pissed off when they see any whiff of a negative trans character, like Ivanka is weird, and like that character is unpleasant to be around. Also probably evil, because or maybe not evil, but like, you get the idea.
And see, Wolfsbane and Cheers is mostly because there hasn't been a modern cartoon that has the similar quality to Avatar. It really hasn't been. They kind of went to like the ugliness stage, and kind of they haven't really come out with something with this style of writing. It's usually like irony or just totally so random humor or something like that. Like again, Avatar Airbender has so many like serious moments in there that can't really that wouldn't really survive modern day writing. It just wouldn't. Let's see here. Mostly because there hasn't been a modern day cartoon that's quite similar quality to Avatar, which is a mix of bad storytellers and algorithms preventing any form of creativity. Seems like it. Let's see. Don't kill me, but I never watched ReZero. I haven't finished it either.
I haven't finished it.
I just started it.
Yeah, I haven't finished it either. Don't feel bad.
I'm on episode 10, but every episode's like 45 minutes or something like that. It's pretty crazy. I like, wow, every episode is 45 minutes. And it has a lot of episodes. It has like 52 episodes. And then Norman Manley's the father says, are you talking about a character called Subaru or Subaru Owners? It's a character. The main character is called Subaru. And see, I believe Subaru did confess at the end of the first season, but I also stopped watching it at the end of the first season. I can kind of see why. And then Alex Halo thanks for the 5, and also Superchat says after Subaru's mental breakdown, he gets a lot better. Well, that's good. So I should be close to the part where he gets better because he's having this mental breakdown at the moment.
He's having a lot of mental breakdowns like all the time. It's a little annoying, Subaru. Come on.
I know you're dying brutally over and over again, but come on. And then the last
you're acting mega cringe, bro.
Exactly. Suck it up. The last season, he finally learned some spirit magic. That's good because he kind of sucks at everything else. There's one point where he got knocked out or something like that, or he's just or he trained so hard, I guess he passed out, and then he wakes up in his head in Rem's lap. And he's like, "Rem, do you find pathetic?" He's like, "Yes."
But I don't mind. I like that. It's like, yeah, I do. You're actually,
yeah. Her answer is like, "Yeah, yes, I do," but I don't really mind.
Like, first of all, what a waifu! What the fuck is that?
Alexander says, meanwhile, Luffy restores all the monarchies. That doesn't really seem very woke to me. And see, we'll split this in cheers. I don't really have dumbbells, but I do have kettlebells. I find doing the cross-body clean press more of a heart rate workout than burpees. Yeah, I haven't really done burpees in a long time. Burpees are kind of bad for bigger people, and I find like they are more prone to injury, and because it requires a lot of movement. I do like burpees, but I do kind of actually like burpees a little bit, but yeah, they do require a lot of movement, and if you're not used to that, I can see there being some injuries. Let's see, injury the other exercises, and then Ghost says, "Look on the bright side, LD. We're almost due for Twitards to discover Berserk. Yeah, it's almost that time of year, huh? They're going to rediscover Berserk.
Oh boy,
and have the collective breakdown. Oh, must be look, Stu. It's Berserk season. Happy Berserk to you.
Remember, Griffith did nothing wrong.
'Tis the season.
Characters and themes are all executed superbly because the show's creators focused on fundamentals. This is best highlighted by the show's overall plot. Aang's journey is the hero's journey, the monomyth. He is one of the
That's some Nazi talk right there.
1,000 faces of that hero. We all know how this goes. The world is in grave danger and in need of a protector. The boy who was supposed to save the world would rather go penguin sledding, but eventually accepts his destiny, grows in strength, skill, and wisdom, perseveres through setbacks, emerges triumphant over the big bad guy, and returns home a changed, good, and noble man. That is, from the very beginning, the promise that Avatar makes its audience. We will take this goofy little bald kid and change him into a warrior, a hero, a savior.
Is that why he's bald? Because he likes Aang so much?
How will we do that? By having him learn to wield all 4 elements. Well, the 3 he doesn't already know at the beginning, anyway.
And by the way, chat, we're just $21 away from Pillarman for the day, and $21 away from being a fourth of the way there.
This creates smaller promises for the audience. We will get to see Aang master water, then earth, then fire.
I bet you remember you had a video that talked about promises, like how each like part of the story is a different promise and why the mystery box doesn't work.
It might have been my Base Rock video. I don't know. I talked about that where it's like, yeah, you have to make a promise to your audience, and then you have to keep that promise. If you don't, then it's just a lie. It's just brush everything else aside. If you give your audience a promise and you don't keep that promise, you have lied to your audience.
Mm-hmm.
It's just unfortunately what happens. It's a knowledge Gable bro. I had a friend that got a heart attack doing burpees. Oh yeah, it's a lot because it's really intense on your heart. So you got to be careful, especially if you're older. Sanderson has a whole class on that. Sanderson talks about that too.
Who?
Brandon Sanderson.
I'm afraid I don't know who that is.
He, I think you might know him if you see him.
Oh,
very recognizable person. He does Mistborn. He worked on Wheel of Time.
Oh,
the book series. He does a lot of commentary. There's a lot of commentary on different things. He's pretty cool overall. As far as I know. Also, he came out with a video recently about AI.
Okay. Was it actually nuanced or was it annoying?
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. It's this one right here. This right here. See, it's like Brandon said, "We are the art." Brandon Sanderson keynote speech on AI.
In April 2010, film critic Roger Ebert, he made an infamous claim. He said, "Video games can never be art." Yeah, I know.
Also, he's a mega nerd.
I could tell by the voice.
And in terms, like he's such a nerd that he makes some pretty good comparisons into using nerd culture for writing. Or like he says like, okay, you have take this for example. When you're writing a story, you have so many allocated points. So he's like comparing it to like a war game of Warhammer. So like, okay, if your story is set in the modern era, you have fewer points before to be allocated to your story before the audience gets bored. If you are writing a fantasy or a sci-fi, you have more points because they're more interested in seeing your world come to life. So basically, it's kind of like you have so many hypothetical points to spend on story development and things before your audience gets bored and goes away, which is pretty accurate and true. It's why you can't really spend a lot of time just like dictating to your audience the status of your world. Like, okay, here's how the magic works, and here's how the traveling works, and all that stuff. Like you have a lot less time if it's set in the modern day world, that sort of thing. Also, he has a supervillain layer, which is kind of cool. He has so much money that he made a big, the best man cave anyone's ever seen. He calls it a supervillain layer. It's pretty cool stuff. But yeah, he talks about Game of Thrones. I think he hates Rings of Power. They talk about Rings of Power, and he makes this really funny face, like because one of his friends liked it. He's like, "What? You like Rings of Power?" That's just insane. How can you like that? But what was it? Oh yeah, he has several editors because he has several like series that are so long. He has a continuity editor.
Oh wow.
Her whole entire role is to make sure that whatever he writes is acceptable in the continuity of which he's already written. And she mentions that, oh yeah, this is a great scene, but it didn't happen because this and this. Also, I'm looking at Brandon Sanderson here, and like, did he murder somebody? Look at his shoes. There's like, is that or like look, he's covered in blood. It's like this. Oh yeah, I just finished murdering somebody and walked here in my white bottom shoes that are now smeared in red. Anyway, Brandon Sanderson writes fashion AI. Like he wrote like 7 novels over the course of COVID, and then he crowdfunded them. Pretty good stuff. There we go. Back to Avatar. Make sure this is good to go. All right, and boom, why Avatar indeed.
Progress toward those goals, and then having satisfying payoffs when they are reached is fundamental to good storytelling. If the audience has a general idea where the story is going, they will be invested, assuming, of course, that you have made an interesting promise. Aang becoming a low-level instructor at the Western Air Temple would not be an intriguing premise or promise. But mastering elemental martial arts in order to defeat the most powerful man in the world, yeah, you've got my attention. ATLA, as I mentioned, then breaks down this larger promise into 3 smaller ones. By the end of each book, Aang has mastered, or at least is highly proficient in, that style of bending. Thus, we reach a satisfying payoff. As an example, in the second book, Aang starts out totally incapable of earthbending, but the audience knows he must learn it somehow. Promise. Unlike with water, Aang lacks a natural knack for this element, and so finding a teacher is of utmost importance. But even when he does recruit Toph into the Boomerang Gang, he finds earth.
And say Wolfsbane in the 10 cheers says George literally asks Innocent, how can he write stories so quickly? Also, where's the book, George? Poor George. Poor George.
Bending and Toph's teaching methods to be more than he bargained for. But like Zuko in his attempts to redirect lightning, Aang perseveres. Progress. By the end of the book, he is wiping the floor with Earth Kingdom Palace guards. Or rather, he is wiping them with the floor. Payoff. This is pretty basic stuff, right? Yes. Yes, it is. But the reason I emphasize the importance of the fundamentals of storytelling is because, well, a lot of modern Hollywood and its ilk seem to have forgotten them entirely.
They have. They don't even care. Man, at least going to lean into the live action one also.
For example, Netflix's adaptation of this
is awful. This series is awful, Stu. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but it's terrible. Do not see it if you haven't.
Which one?
The live action Avatar Netflix series.
Yeah.
Terrible. I made like several shorts about it, like how much it sucks, because it's I want to do little snippets, but one of my favorite parts that really made me laugh was like when Aang goes to the water village and he's discovered by them and everything, and they kind of find out who he is. He runs away because he's just overwhelmed by the whole prospect of everything, like being the Avatar and everything. And then the grandma says, "He is the last Airbender." Come on, someone got paid for this. Someone got paid to write this dialogue.
This very show. As of this video's release, season 1 has premiered, following the same storyline as book 1 of the animated series, except
okay, by technicality, yes, it does follow the season 1 storyline. However, it sucks. You wanted a sucky version of it, where you don't feel anything for the characters whatsoever. It's very clear that the writers really want to have Zuko be the main character because they kind of spend a lot of time on Zuko, and they flesh out Zuko's backstory more than in the show, while sacrificing time we need to spend with the main characters. So like Katara, Aang, and Sokka barely get any fleshing out. They rarely get anything at all. And the whole thing is Katara can't actually bend or whatever, because the whole thing is she's being held back by the memories of her mom.
Oh, shut
up. Yeah. And so when she eventually finds Jet, and essentially Jet helps her get over it by saying, "Have you tried like not fucking worrying about it?"
Damn, Jet. Yeah, you got it.
And it works. She's like, "Oh, well, have you tried thinking about, happy stuff like the sunrise and stuff like that?" It's like, "No, I haven't." And then she does, and it works. And then suddenly she's over her mom being dead.
Listen, honestly, that sounds kind of based, because what that tells me is that girls need to just get over it and listen to men.
Yeah, just listen to men. It's so easy. Just get over it.
Just get over it. Listen to men and stop yapping. I think everyone would be a lot happier. I think
just get over it. Yeah.
No, I think I think they're onto something. I think you're out.
They're way better if you listen to the men part. Is actually pretty based, but
yeah.
But the man has to have some like actual good advice. Not just
listen. Well, remember, if men aren't giving advice, then women are just acting on their own without men's advice.
And that's no good.
We can't have that. Like, guys, come on, boys. You got to be with me on this, okay? Getting a Coke. Be right back.
Let's see. Nora Mendix and Fighter Chats is my favorite part of the Netflix Avatar is when Gang said it's bending time. You know what? That's a joke, but it's pretty close. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually said that. You know what? And now I'm thinking about it. I'm not sure I'm not even sure that's a joke. I can't remember. This is something they actually might have put in there. Like it's bending time, and he airbending all over the place. That's what the teacher did. Like he killed like all these guys. And see, like much Norman, man, appreciate it, very much appreciated. Thank you very much. All right, chat. Here we go. There we go. down to $85. Is $15 away, chat, from hitting Pillarman today and being a fourth of the way there, where we will finish the amazing digital circus. The Stew crew.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh yeah, but my other favorite part of Avatar, Netflix Avatar, is it turns out Azula was like doing some undercover work and infiltrating this gang of rebels, and they just walk into the palace to go kill, Ozai during the night. But of
Obviously,
course, they don't go to his bedroom. They go to his throne room because of course the Fire Lord never leaves the throne. It's like school kids wrote this story. It's like, what? Why are you going to the throne room? He would be in bed. It's like midnight or whatever. But
that's funny.
They go to the throne room to kill him because, of course, it's like kids like, oh yeah, teachers don't exist outside of school. The teachers like live at school, right? It's kind of like that mentality. It's like, okay, the Fire Lord never leaves his throne room. I watched the cartoon show. He's always there. So obviously he's going to be there at night. He just sleeps in his chair.
Yeah, you got it completely. Yeah,
that makes too much sense.
Aang never learns to waterbend, like at all. Waterbending is entirely Netflix Katara's domain.
Oh, right. Also, Aang does not waterbend. He does not learn how to waterbend at all in season 1.
Oh, well, how does what happens?
It's all about like his internal struggles or something like that. And but he never because Katara's the one that taught him to waterbend, and she can't waterbend because she was like upset that her mom died or something until she meets Jet, of course. And then so Aang does not learn waterbending in the first season. There's first of all, they're too busy going over his internal conflict and how much he's a failure because everyone keeps yelling at this little kid about how much he failed and how much he sucks, which was to the point where it was kind of funny because like, you're just yelling at this little kid. You suck. I hate you. Like everyone just hates Aang because he just sucks. So that's kind of what we focus on instead. We focus on how much Aang sucks, how much guilt he feels, all that. He doesn't really feel like the he doesn't really have much of that playful kid energy that he has in the original show. It's just him being sad and feeling guilty and stuff. And also we run out of time because we're spending so much time on Zuko and all of his new shenanigans that are going on. Like that the crew that he's saddled with are the people that he saved, you remember the whole thing that he gets exiled because the journalists are like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put these guys at the front lines so they'll die. Yeah. So Zuko, steps in to say, hey, that's kind of wrong. And then the general, is insulted, and at least the Agni Kai. Well, the new backstory is those guys that are in Zuko's ship are the guys that he saved from being slaughtered. Which I kind of like that.
Yeah. No, I see the logic there. That's actually not a bad twist. All right.
And so they have like loyalty to him. So these things, some things are not that bad, but it's the thing that we traded these moments the time it takes to do this was that time sacrifice that we could have had, developing Sokka, Katara, and Aang, which we have very little of. We have very little development of the characters. They kind of just feel like this three strangers by the end of the season because we just don't really spend too much time with them. It's a...
And I mean, yeah, no one ever explicitly states, by the time we leave the North Pole, Aang will have learned to be a great waterbender. But that promise is implicit in the very nature of this story. Then again, considering how much unnecessary exposition riddles the Netflix adaptation, I should not be surprised if they don't understand what implicit promises are.
And also, that's Sozin. And he's like so much like not Peel. Oh, no, Peel. Yeah, Peel from Key and Peele. Peel from Key and Peele. Okay. It kind of looks like him a little bit, but he's in this old man outfit.
But I'm not here to bash the live-action show. I just thought it an apt comparison to demonstrate how the original perfect
you should bash a live-action show.
Yeah,
it deserves it.
Executes this basic concept of
based concept,
progress, and payoff. However, Aang's development in
this is where we are now, Stu. Like the modern day writing and from the mainstream is degraded to such an extent that we have to like praise the basics. Like, okay, have you guys tried promise, progress, and payoff before? Have you tried character arcs before? Have we tried the most fundamental aspects of writing? How about that? Have we tried this? Let's see.
The
Clearly
bending
not.
parts is not
Yeah,
the whole
not-
sum
probably
of the
not.
story's plot, since the not magic
Also, I want to point out that this totally screws over Aang. Like this part where he's just kind of like not taking fire seriously, and then he just wounds Katara. Because if you remember this episode, Sokka gets so mad at Aang that he's ready to kill Aang
Yeah.
for wounding Katara in such a way. If Katara had not suddenly been this legendary water healer, things would have gone very differently.
Mm-hmm.
Because she healed her hands, and then everyone, because she's healed now, all is forgiven. But if she hadn't been able to heal her hands, like if she hadn't been able to do that, if she wasn't this mystical water healer, what would happen? It would have been I'm pretty sure Aang would have ended up on his own.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm pretty sure Sokka would have forced Katara to abandon Aang. Pretty sure. That would have been so weird. That would have been such a different story.
Since the not magic wielded by the Benders is a martial art, there must be someone against whom Aang will wield his newfound abilities. The Fire Nation, the story's villains, or in simpler terms, its bad guys. Avatar's plot, once again, is remarkably simple. It is a story about good versus evil. Evil seeks to dominate, to rule, to impose its will across every nation and on every person to consume. The Fire Nation could
I like how hold on.
versus evil. Evil seeks to dominate, to rule.
I like how this is a very male thing, where he's just he gets like new powers during the comment or something, and then he's like, I am the Phoenix King now. Look, I'm tired of being Fire Lord 2988. All right, I'm now Phoenix King 1. My new screen name is Phoenix King.
To impose its will across
All right, I'm going to have a cool meeting with the Half-Blood Prince.
every nation and on every person to consume. The Fire Nation could
Like, what's going to happen after the comet passes? Is he going to still be the Phoenix King?
Couldn't tell you.
The comet only passes for like a little bit.
very well be the Empire or Sauron's armies or the freaking Mongol hordes. Now, of course, there are distinct differences between our flame-wielding antagonists and those various groups, but the fundamental concept is the same. The powers that be within this evil organization believe they have the right to assert their will across all of existence.
Well, they do. They could do that.
Who's going to stop him?
Yeah, you gotta be able to stop them.
Azula, for instance, claims the divine right to rule as something owed to her from birth. It's honestly pretty heavy stuff for a show-rated TV.
I like that viewpoint though. It's very like a set in stone philosophy. It kind of the same thing from John II in Ironclad. Like it's my right to be king, which is played by Paul Giamatti, which is kind of funny, but it's pretty fun. It's pretty cool to see like the royals kind of take this position and like argue it. It's pretty interesting. Because it is why they're royals in the first place, like the divine right to rule.
7. Now, a lot of the darker thematic elements might go over a kid's head, but it'd be awfully hard for little Johnny to miss Monk Gyatso's skeleton and the
Look at this little Johnny. He's dead, like really dead.
and the 3rd episode. The thing is, though, without
they said that the Fire Nation invaded the air temple, but like there are a lot of wooden doors still.
Come on, Avatar. All the air temples?
All the air temples? Okay, Avatar, maybe it did happen, but all the air temples? Pff, come on. How would look, Avatar, Sozin's comment only lasts like a few hours. Like given the math, you really can't invade 4 air temples and wipe out the entire air nations all at once. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
this serious subject.
Math isn't math, Avatar. What, Avatar? I'm just asking questions.
Yeah, just asking questions.
You say that we invade these other temples too, Avatar. Well, I mean, how come there are still a lot of wooden doors that are not burned down? And it's just kind of strange that, of course, that after you've been invaded by the Fire Nation during Sozin's Comet, I would think there'd be more burned down doors. I'm just asking these questions.
Matter. The show simply wouldn't have the staying power that it has demonstrated. There are tons of kiddie shows out there which are safe, tame, and written for the single purpose of being appropriate for young children. And I have a bone to pick with such stories. is I consider them largely inappropriate for my kids because they are dumbed down so.
Speaking of Ira, though, if you're traveling with your Fire Nation uncle Stu, and then he like finds like a little place to make a jacuzzi, would you join him when he says like, "Hey Stu, my good nephew, join me in this water. I heated it myself." Would you join him in that? Would you join him in water that he heated himself?
No, because no.
Like, not if you said that. Like, I'm like, I might have if you didn't add in the "I heated it myself."
It's like you had me until a point.
Exactly.
So very badly. While I obviously don't want to traumatize my kids by showing them content too mature for their ages, I do want to challenge them. And more importantly, to show them quality stories that I can watch without my eyes rolling into the back of my skull. And sometimes, as in the case of ATLA, that means narratives that deal with darker concepts such as war and death. Since it is so likely that they will meet cruel enemies, let them at least have heard of brave knights and heroic courage. Otherwise, you are making their destiny not brighter, but darker.
Yeah, Hollywood.
That is Avatar to a T. And as its plot is a classic one, it is therefore not especially
more than great heroes. More than great hero slop.
unique or original. So why does this story still...
Oh, by the way, the live action just ruins Boomy. Instead of Boomy just kind of... I was waiting for the shoe to drop with Boomy, but it doesn't. You know, he's like a kind of an asshole in the cartoon. And he's like, "Oh, psych out, Aang. I was testing you." Well, there is no psych out. He's just an angry old man who was just angry at Aang for going away for 100 years.
Seriously?
Yeah. And then Aang has to teach him about, you know, letting it go and stuff like that. So overall, they kind of just ruin Boomy just so we can have another moment of "you suck, Aang. You suck for disappearing for 100 years." And yeah, it turns out Boomy's just angry. Also, Katara and Sokka are not there because they're trying to sneak into the Omashu palace by going through the secret tunnel of love.
I'm sorry?
Remember the whole thing, like the tunnel of lovers that Katara went in with Aang? Well, it's not Katara and Aang this time, it's Katara and Sokka. They go to the tunnel of lovers because that tunnel leads to the palace, I guess, where Aang is being held by Boomy.
I don't know if that was the right call. I don't know. You can give her back to Aang, please, and thank you. I'm
It's
good.
Sokka and Katara now.
No.
This is a new ship of the future, Stu. Don't be a bigot.
No.
Original. So why does this story still resonate with us all these years later? Well, I should note at this point that the plot of Avatar is not the key element of the answer to such a question, but we'll get to that later. However, the very fact that this plot is so archetypal is what helps cement it in our memories and thus in our hearts. We can't possibly forget it. The fact that we've seen its outline dozens of times in other works of art means that it is already ingrained in our brains. The danger with telling such a tale, of course, is that it might become rote and repetitive, ultimately blending with those aforementioned dozens of stories, failing to properly distinguish itself. So how does ATLA stand out? For starters, with its setting. Avatar's world is at first glance intimately familiar. It imitates the construction of our own Earth. The poles are freezing cold, there is a variety of terrain, including oceans dotted with islands, and the peoples of those various locales have adapted accordingly. Sure, there are also 1,000 different types of fantastic creatures, but most of those are just mashups of animals we can see in a zoo, or giant versions of their earthly selves. I cannot emphasize enough how crucial ATLA's introduction of its world is. The show does not drop the viewer directly into the face stealer's den. It eases.
Let's see, Will Spain. Then she says, well, even old cartoons that are more episodic and more about entertainment are way better than most modern ones. K&D, Ed, Edd n Eddy, PPG, Powerpuff Girls, Courage, Angry Beavers. Angry Beavers is probably like a real inside joke. Impossible. As told by Ginger, Doug. I can keep going forever. Yeah, they're all really good. Like Doug was a legendary show. I loved watching Doug when I was a kid. And even Powerpuff Girls was good. Ed, Edd n Eddy, another legendary show. K&D. It's because a lot of time, like today, they kind of like the fully decompressed story. So every season has to be one like chapter, an overarching story. Now, Avatar kind of did that a little bit.
Someone made a really good meme that I really like. It was like along the lines of, it used to be like back in the 90s, whenever there was a character called like Surfer Guy, you would see him surfing and having adventures every single episode. Now, the way it works is like the entire season 1 is like a flashback of how Surfer Guy got his surfboard, and you get to see him surfing for like 5 minutes at the end
The
of
last
season.
episode.
Yeah. And it's just like, wow, that's really fucking stupid. I want to see Surfer Guy have adventures on his surfboard, you know? Where's that shit? Where's that
start
shit?
off with him and start off with him. He should have already have a surfboard. Okay, we can go through the origin story later.
Mm-hmm.
All right, if I bought something called Surfer Guy, he should be surfing from the get-go, or at least soon after. It's like I found this like this new Ripperverse thing magazine that came out. It's it's new one called like Blue Streak or something like that. New character, and on the front it has him in this silvery costume because he's a speedster and everything. And I was thinking like, okay, he's already going to have the costume then, right? Because only like it's a very short story, like for just to introduce the character. And guess on what page, dude, does he get this costume?
The last one?
No, he doesn't get his costume. Trick question. Doesn't get his costume at all.
Oh, damn. No, you got me. Holy shit. Yeah, that's crazy.
No superhero antics in the first story. I was like, come on.
That sucks.
Why would I buy this? Why the hell would I buy this? Why is it not in the? He should be in the costume from page 1, Stu. I think the story is like 8 pages long. All right, he should already be in school, and I know the conflict of the story is he's been sheltered his entire life. And the whole thing is about going to a new school and intermingling with like common people for the first time because he's been so because he's a super fast weirdo, and he hasn't really been in school that much. Like, okay. We got to end it with him at least in costume and going to fight somebody. But no, it didn't. There's at no point does it get the costume and that story. And it's supposed to be introducing me to the character and supposed to be getting excited about the character. And to me, I should at least see him in the costume. Like he should at least be putting it on by page like the 8 or whatever it is. But you don't really get that. Is this about like school drama and him joining the track team, and then him making a friend, and then him like getting a crush on some girl, and then we kind of end with him being at the end of the first day of school, and apparently the girl he has a crush on is his next door neighbor. That's about it. We don't really get into any superhero antics.
Okay.
Which, okay, that could be your beginning, but it's not really selling me on the character. It's not like it's a superhero character. The snippet where I should get is him fighting some bad guy. That's what I should get. Let's see. Carla Batista is still mad that CN chose Steven Universe Future to continue Teen Titans Go over lighting Galactic Kids Next Door. Oh, right. I remember this crap. So the Kids Next Door legendary show, and it ended with a really interesting like final, I think, movie where we find out that Nigel's dad was Agent Zero, and that the kids next door, the delightful kids from down the lane were just the brainwashed members of like his old team and stuff. And then we find out that Nigel has to go to space, and everything's going to go to space to establish the Galactic Kids Next Door. And then we see interviews with like the much older crew of his friends and everything. And then they all get called away. Like, what? There's for you? What? And it kind of hinted that there's going to be a Galactic Kids Next Door. And they never got it. Instead, Stu, we got Teen Titans Go.
Yo, let's go.
Oh yeah, instead of a Galactic Kids Next Door, it would be Teen Titans Go. Really, the worst timeline on that section specifically. All right.
him in. First showing him waterbending, which is simple enough to understand, and then dropping a bison on him, but one that has 6 legs and can fly. That latter fact is one that Sokka, a character in this very show, does not believe. And Sokka's ignorant and arrogant disbelief.
By the way, Chad, we're just $10 away from Pilliman, and $10 away from 25% there. 25% the way there to the remaining episodes of Amazing Digital Circus. That girl says, in classic LD style, you get things mixed up. It's about 80% correct. Hey, which one?
I'm not certain. You'll be real.
Let's see. Which one was it? Oh, my recalling of the final movie. Right? I assume so.
I'm genuinely not sure. I'm sorry.
But yeah, we do get. It was like I forgot exactly. It's been a long time since I've seen that one. Let's see. Oh, Mad's here. Well, I mean, some mysterious person popped in. Let me see who this could possibly. I don't know why the StreamYard is not doing the that it usually does. Let's see. We got a mysterious guest. So let's see who this could possibly be.
What's Gucci, my ninjas, bro? At a tat tat tat, the pretorious, LADPHD, we've all just. I'm a beast, you better check. I'm flipping the script, redefining the monomyth, emblematic of greatness. What's Gucci, my ninjas, bro? At a tat tat tat, the pretorious, LADPHD, we've all just. Much is most smooth as ever. Main character vibe. The YouTuber, the whole chat subscribe. BBD!
And welcome, Mad.
What's
Let's see.
Gucci, my ninjas?
We're going over your favorite
Are you
show,
blowing
Avatar: The
bubbles?
Airbenders.
Stu?
Oh, sorry. I'm playing Stardew, and whenever you collect crops, it makes that popping sound. I can turn it down.
Just blowing bubbles.
Yeah, sorry. We're just trying to do a stream here.
Let's see.
Listen, if I'm not playing a video game or working on something in the background, is it really a lit dev stream with Stuart in it?
That's true.
There.
Let's see. Alex Adventures is it was a different movie. That's 2 movies. He goes to outer space and Galactic is next door.
Yeah,
That's-
that's what I was coming in to correct you on.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I was like,
Oh,
man,
good.
he goes to intergalactic
I remember that being in the same
Beastie
movie.
Boys.
I remember that being all the same movie. Because like that's pretty big revelation that his dad was Agent Zero or something, and then the kids delightful children from down the lane were like his old team.
Oh, wait,
Let's see.
before I forget, because I was going to give Stu a compliment. This does not happen very often at all. I will say, though, that you're one of the better ones at being able to play a game or whatever, but still participate and pay attention to what's happening on the stream.
Thank you. I do appreciate that, actually.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
still hate you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Damn, bro. Fucking hell. Came out swinging with that one. I don't feel I
No,
deserve
man.
that one.
Oh, Ben says, did the Air Nomads drag Earth Kingdom into war with the Fire Nation? I'm just asking questions. Yeah, it was how come the Earth King? How did you ever notice that Ozai's cabinet was?
Is filled with a whole bunch of earthbenders? That's really weird.
Have you ever noticed that the Earth King has like a bunch of like air nomads in his cabinet? That's kind of weird, right? And see, and how come the air nomads are way overrepresented in the nomad community? What's with that? It's a normal man. The air nomads. Yeah, I'm just asking questions.
Yeah, the water nomads are only 13% of the population, but I
Commit
don't-
over 50% of the.
of the nomadic wanderings.
I don't know enough about Airbender.
Let's see.
What is
We'll
what is it
spend
called?
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I thought that was a movie with the blue people.
And this is the good one. See, Will Smith, the 10 years is that you find out that Chad, number one's arch nemesis and former best friend, was actually still. Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah, the number one there was a bad guy for a long time, but it turns out that he was actually an undercover guy, and that he was able to maintain his memories after becoming a teenager. Still a K&D member, and was originally picked for the G, K, and D before Nigel. Also, Nigel finds out that his dad is number 0. His uncle is father, and grandfather was the ultimate bad guy. Yeah, that's kind of what happened. So there's a guy.
They were all the same guy?
They introduced a guy called Grandfather, and he's like the ultimate bad guy. And then, yeah, number 0 is his dad, and his uncle was father, which that was a crazy revelation. Like, what's his father the entire time? His uncle?
Oh, his mom got stuck in a dryer.
His father was. That's how it started. Yeah, so it turns out that Nigel's uncle was father. Kind of interesting. And Rebels08, thanks for the $10 super chat. I blame Stu for the world's problem.
True.
They much Rebels08. I think we all. And see, and then Simbi thanks for the additional $10 super chat for the Pillarman, for the Republic, for democracy, for the Emperor as well. Yeah,
imagine the cool accent you could have had somebody do that in if you would have said, "Hey Stu, read it in this accent."
For Pillarman, for the Republic, or something like that.
I love that's our default on this show.
What, my Middle Eastern accent? Yeah. For the Emperor,
yodeling,
and for the Space King.
I guess you guys didn't see the Carpenter or whatever the hell her name is. He was doing her concert thing, and one of them started doing that. You know that thing that they do in the movies or whatever. Yeah, and she's like, "What the hell? That's what you're gonna do?"
At least you didn't come out jumping on one leg. I waiting to get tagged out.
Fair.
Let's see. That's a pretty good story. That's a pretty good story. The whole thing, like, oh yeah, I'm just going to jump in with on one leg.
Yeah.
In things, and that's kind of
good.
It's a cautionary tale. Is not to put in all your chips on hand one. You know?
Yeah, you got to build up to it, bro. You don't come in at a 10. It's true in everything, whether it's in law enforcement, you can easily go from a 1 to a 10 in a snap. All it takes, you know what I mean? You just rip that thing out the holster, you're at 10. But immediately come back down. But if you come in at a 10 and like everybody's calm, like, what up, bro? Like it takes, you know what I mean? It's not as easy coming back down to 1.
Yeah. Exactly. It's a little tough, especially after you've gone to 10, and by 10, draw your gun.
Right. And screaming, "Get on the ground, motherfucker.
Get on the ground.
Show me your hands."
I was just jaywalking. Get on the ground.
I can't breathe.
He has crack on him.
Yeah, he has crack on him. Does that mean any given time a police officer has crack on him so he can sprinkle?
Actually, yeah, that's a good question. Like, is that how it works?
Dude, one night, man, we were hopping, dude. I think it was probably during rodeo. I don't know if you're familiar with what happens in San Antonio during the rodeo. It's like a week-long thing. Yeah, it's every night is a Saturday night. It's fucking horrible. Anyway, I'm running from fucking thing to thing to thing, and I got some marijuana off some dudes, and I had it in my jacket pocket. And I pull this out of the car. I'm like, "Look, man, I smell the fucking weed in the car." They're like, "No, you don't." I'm like, "I know what it smells like. Look, I have it in my pocket right here. I know what it smells like."
That's the funniest thing about people who smoke weed. They're so used to it, they don't smell it, so they assume no one else can smell it. But we do. It's really strong.
Oh man, the best one we got to do controlled burns, where the evidence people will take you out, then they just burn a whole bunch of marijuana in front of you. You're like, "Oh, that's what it smells like."
Yeah, like you didn't know. And see, but let's bring some crack on him. Let's get out of here. There we go. They wish us symbiote, and we have reached Pillarman for the day. Thanks to you, Mad.
No problem.
Mad Popson. Get Pillarman.
I saw Stu wasn't getting it done this morning, so I figured I'd jump in.
Clearly.
And if chat doesn't behave, and if they don't get us to this closer than this shit, I want to see at least 200 before we're done. If not, I got that link in the back for you about how Yoda is responsible for everything and how he covered up all these different crimes.
I think I might watch it tomorrow. Sounds pretty fun.
Oh, it's fun.
For us. And see, we'll spend 10 cheers. Has anyone noticed that most tribe women have a fiery temper? Just asking questions. And Sokka seems to attract every woman that can kick his ass and have similar personalities. Well, what other than Yue, but she turned to the moon. So, but we didn't really get a chance to see her temper in a few episodes that we see her. Yeah, because she kind of turns into the moon, kind of lickety split. My girlfriend turned the moon. That's rough, buddy.
Dr. Crow, that's the smartest thing you've ever said in chat.
What's it called? Zuko's response to that is like legendary. It's like the best response. That's rough, buddy. Because what's the point of being a cop if you can't beat a rando with a nightstick and yell, "Stop resisting"?
Body cams ruined everything.
Can't hog tie anybody anymore.
Right. No, you can still do that. You just got to know how to write that shit up. You got to articulate that shit.
Well, he was resisting.
Brilliant bit of
Speak with some crack on him.
trickery.
Did I ever explain how to get away with smacking a dude in the face with an open hand? You can say you tap the side of his face with an open palm to regain his attention.
I was regaining the suspect's attention. All right, it's not my fault he wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, it's the same as when you throw him on the ground, bro. It's using the minimum amount of force necessary. You assisted him to the ground to prevent any injury to themselves or to others.
Well, that just seems like a perfectly reasonable thing to do.
That's right.
Perfectly reasonable.
Body cam. It's like, oh, you picked him up and fucking gave him an F5 like you're Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
You tombstone pile drived him. Yeah, you assisted him.
It gets us, the audience, on the side of the fantastic, urging us to accept that, of course, a 6-legged, 10-ton monster can sail through the air with the greatest of ease. The magic that enables Appa's flight is, of course, the crucial element of Avatar's setting that captures the viewer's imagination and attention that endures long after we have watched the final credits roll. And yes, I know, it's not
Judicial 10 cheers, Will Spain. Appreciate it.
magic,
like this
it's
guy?
airbending, but I'm going to refer to all
So far.
bending as
Wait, is he
a
the
magic
dude
system
from the
because that's
MCU? What's his name?
Did you say dude or
Dude? Yeah.
Okay, that's you heard what I thought you heard, right, Dev? Like,
What'd you think?
I heard, dude.
I was like, is that the Jew from the? And I'm like,
No.
Now this is like your stew hearing, I think.
No, that was that little chick from the Brave New World.
oh,
She was Jewish.
maybe I'm like a little lost in the sauce.
I think that was
you're
that's a
Israel
stew hearing.
captured.
Special
Yeah.
stew hearing is.
He's Israel
Effectively,
captured. But no, he
yeah,
looks
what
like
it is.
um.
Now,
Let's see. He looks like Lex
Lex
Luthor.
Luthor. No,
That's from
the
the
dude.
DCU.
We're the Falcon, Captain Falcon, Brave New World.
Oh, I didn't
And
see
the
that.
bad guy looked like broccoli.
I don't think I've seen any of that
Oh,
stuff.
Jesus Christ! I gotta look it up. He's like the Hulk's one of his villains.
You mentioned the Hulk. I was like, Hulk Hogan? That's the cool Hulk to me. Oh yeah.
bending is contrasted against other forms of alleged magic, such as fortune telling. So there is a distinct.
Did you ever see Avatar: Last Airbender, a bridge series, where they're in the fortune telling one? You get like that one little girl that's in love with Aang. The bridge series gave her like a smoker's voice. She's like, "Hello, lover." Let's see. Will Space has got to hate Twitch, but Matt is right. There is a contraption that cops use to hog tie people.
Yeah, it's called zip ties.
Mostly people who constantly slip the cuffs, so women, I guess. I was just thinking Matt had like a rope with him and just hog tie him like cattle.
No, bro, I just had a whole bunch of zip ties with me, dude. Ready to go in my go bag.
And see. Garrett Grant, the leader. Hello to you, Garrett Grant.
Distinction to be made, but that's not really relevant here. Why is bending such a fascinating form of magic? Again, because it blends familiarity, simplicity, and creativity. We all know what water, earth, fire, and air are, and all benders do is manipulate, sculpt, and move those elements to their advantage, whether that's throwing rocks at an opponent, creating air currents to enable flight, bending water to propel a vehicle, or, most importantly, heating up lukewarm tea. It's all remarkably simple and natural.
This is not tea. This is just leaf juice. Tea. Uncle, that's what tea is.
With every new...
You're in trouble.
It's
LD's in trouble. You turning on ads, bro? You trying to get more money from these guys?
Is it?
I don't know. Somebody said
Are
that.
they getting
they just
ads?
got ad. Yeah. Get YouTube
bending
Premium,
innovation.
bro. It's worth
in
it.
which we see
back.
throughout the show, the audience thinks, oh yeah, of course you can do that. Despite its simplicity, or perhaps because of it, Avatar's magic system is incredibly creative. Starting from these 4 basic points, the creators simply asked, what else can benders do? Over and over again.
Hey, that was the boulder.
They laid strict boundaries around what was possible by constraining themselves to these elements, and were then
I like how Zuko's main battle tactic is to break dance. That's a pretty cool battle tactic.
free to explore the vast possibilities within those bounds. And yes, I know that Aang kind of breaks down the fence at the end, but that's a topic for another video. To properly capture and maintain audience interest, a magic system should evolve in a sensible manner. One of the biggest dangers of a soft magic system, as opposed to the pretty hard magic system in Avatar, is that the writer can be tempted to invent a new power on the spot to resolve a problem. Like I said, different video. But for the vast majority of Avatar's runtime, every new discovery is simply another step into elemental magic, the result of years of research, innovation, or practice by a given bender. Toph's ability to see via earthbending is a perfect example of this. Before the second season, I doubt any given viewer would have thought up such an ability, but it makes complete sense to us immediately upon its appearance. Of course that's possible. Necessity is the mother of invention, after all. What is
What's
more
happening? What
important
is
about
this
Toph's
about?
blind sight, however, is that it is
Avatar, the last airbender.
limited.
Avatar,
Objects
huh?
in the air
Well, it's been since years know it's called the wrap, which cops use a bunch of straps to put people into positions similar to a straitjacket.
Sure,
That
bro.
true?
I mean, zip ties are so much easier, bro. You have them
Matt,
in
is this true?
handcuffs. You put a zip tie on the handcuffs, and then zip tie their ankles, and then attach that shit with another zip tie. Fucking done. You don't have to get fancy. I've
Are
seen all the shackles and shit like that. That's nah.
Let's see.
completely invisible to her. Limitations in a magic system, especially one as central to the plot as Avatar's, are crucial. There are some limitations inherent in elemental bending, obviously, as all benders, save one, can only wield one element, and certain conditions will severely nerf or even disable certain benders. Or so the theory goes. Not all limitations need be permanent.
Yeah, the everything was pretty balanced. Even like Toph was supposed to be like this awesome kind of prodigy because she was taught by the Badger Moles on how to earthbend, but even she had weaknesses.
Metal bending is a perfect example of conquering such a restraint via satisfying evolution. Naturally, it is Toph, of all people, who is able to feel and sense the earthen elements within her metal prison. And you have to appreciate how metal is treated. It's not just another rock, it still acts like metal, being torn, ripped, and bent rather than broken off in solid chunks. When you have established the rules for your magic system, which Avatar does, flawlessly and naturally, and then continue to write within those self-imposed boundaries, but also explore every corner of what is possible, your innovations will be met with reactions like, dude, that's so awesome, instead of, oh, I guess they can do that now? That is, the viewer will appreciate an innovation that they probably had not.
If they earn it, it's way better than just, oh, she can just work, she can just control minds now. Okay.
His neck blends in so much with his head.
It's perfect.
Like normally, I don't try to point out people's physical thing, but it's just I can't. What's happening with him? It's like with camo. You don't want to just do one color. You want to break it up.
Yeah. You know what? He should splash some black in there, some brown, maybe some tar.
Get like a soul patch or something to just kind of break up the whole thing.
Oh no, I was going for a blackface joke. Like yours is way funnier.
What was it? I heard like a rumor that they like the government spent a lot of money on camo, like developing the perfect camo, and then they decided to go with digital as like a cheap way to get it, but it's useless. So what they did was they had the soldiers also equip like these bright, flashy things as well, so that when they were seen wearing the digital camo, they could blame it on these flashy little things that they're wearing.
Are you talking about the reflective things that we would have to wear for PT in the morning?
Or something like that.
Yeah, you're not supposed to wear that into combat. I think you're talking about the ACUs, which I wore, and the only thing they blended in was with this one dude's his grandmother's couch. Let me see if I can find that picture. I have it somewhere.
Does digital camo actually work, or is it?
Well, so it depends on the color, because there is different color schemes for the digital camo, but the ACU that I wore, it did not work.
Not one bit.
No, that's why we mostly wore DCUs when we were in Iraq.
Let's see. It makes us a Hail Litcan, Loading Stew, Hail Mad, Hail Bezchat, and Hail Monday Demon. Hello to you, Exum Legum. Welcome.
But could have, rather than an invention that does not reasonably derive from the established rules, and feels more like the writer is cheating in order to move the plot forward or resolve a conflict. Okay, great. Avatar has a magic system that develops in a satisfying way and is enjoyable to watch in action, as well as a familiar yet fantastic setting. So what? Any fantasy story could boast the same. What is it that really sets ATLA apart? If you hadn't already guessed, that would be the characters. You can grab your audience's attention through intriguing world building, cool magic, or a fascinating plot, but if your characters are bland and uninteresting, your story will fail. The creators of ATLA clearly knew this. It is obvious to anyone who has, shall we say, obsessively watched the show that the cast of characters received
Gotta watch it again.
by far
I'm
the most
sharing it, by
attention
the
of
way.
any element of the story.
We say. Let's see. Tiger is best camo, apparently.
I have already made in-depth analyses of almost every major character in Avatar, so I won't bother going.
I remember this guy where Iroh is like mugged by this guy with a knife, and he's like, "You suck." He had to properly stand with a knife to properly mug people.
Bother going in depth on any one of them here, but what I will do is examine how the writers endeared these characters to the audience. That starts, of course, with an introduction. A character's first moments are of paramount importance. Who is this person? What is he all about? What are her basic traits and characteristics? You'd be hard-pressed to find a
I need
story
to learn
that
how to do this voice so I can get more subs.
The YouTuber voice.
Share my
YouTube voice.
screen somewhere. There you go.
That's actually pretty good.
Right? Yeah. So if
I assume
war
is he
ever
laying
breaks
on
out- If war ever breaks out on your grandmother's couch, we got this, bro.
It's pretty good.
Retarded. No, it wasn't. It was retarded.
Let's see. All right, chat. Let's go ahead and go to stream memes. And we got that sorted out pretty well. All right, let's go to stream memes. And we did hit Pillarman chat, so lower your volume or raise your volume if you prefer. And Pillarman, loud clip incoming. By the way, loud clip incoming. Pillarman. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, yes, best chat. As Gods of Fitness now, the good yin Gods of Fitness have blessed us this wonderful day. Welcome, everyone, to the stream beams. Hello
Bro,
to
I
you.
finally
Cecil.
figured out why my volume's been so low. Fucking Windows. Thanks for letting me know that it was low, you assholes.
Oh, that's just wanted to be low. Let's see. 1 second here. All right. And I had to refresh chat by maintain my volume. Awesome, Cornicatchul. Let's see. We are gathered here today because your prayers didn't work. Without objective morality, everything is permissible. Oh, it's like Nutella with spaghetti.
Oh,
That's
what
gross.
the?
That
No.
seems like morally wrong, objectively. My IQ is probably 5 times more than yours. 5 times 0 is still 0.
Fair.
He sacrificed himself to destroy his enemy. Iborg. Resist existence is futile.
It would be Eorg, but Iorg?
Iorg. Things we got since the last mainline Elder Scrolls game was released. 14 mainline Call of Duty games. 13 from... Wow, 13? I didn't know they had that many. 2 The Last of Us games in a TV show. 12 models of iPhone.
Jesus.
16 builds of Windows OS. 12 major versions of Android OS, 3 generations of Nintendo consoles, 6 seasons of Better Call Saul, 4 seasons of Attack on Titan, 14 Star Wars television shows, 17 Marvel TV shows, 5 Eminem albums, 7 Sabrina Carpenter albums, 43 flavors of Mountain Dew.
No, I'm calling cap on that one. That's cap.
I didn't know there were that many.
No, there's Code Red and then Mountain Dew, and then you have your diets and whatnot.
That's a lot of Mountain Dew, and it's also horrible for you. So.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. The second trip to the moon. Elder Scrolls 6 was announced in 2018.
The whole Airbender thing I was going to say, I'm actually kind of surprised you guys like M. Night Shyamalan's movie that much. It seems like you guys are all about it. I haven't watched it.
Well, having seen the Netflix live action first, the M. Night Shyamalan movie wasn't as bad.
Oh.
So I decided to I kind of like that one a little bit. Now that I know how deep the rabbit hole can go and how awful things can be. Let's see. What is this? If Adam and Eve were Chinese, eat the apple. And they eat the snake instead. Yeah, what if they eat the snake? That'd be kind of funny. What if like Eve was like, how about should we eat the apple? And Adam's like, no, I want to eat the snake. Why would we eat the apple when there's a juicy snake there to eat?
Right.
The story would have gone so much differently. Because basically just kind of end up eating Satan.
Yeah, man. You've been a sin eater. Isn't that a thing?
Yeah, exactly. Let's see.
Oh, somebody got those bubbles popping.
My boss. Me wondering why my coworkers stopped laughing at my flawless impression of my boss.
That's good. I recognize myself. That's from Black Hawk Down.
Gotcha.
OMG, can't believe they made a game which copied Pokemon. The game in question. Are you replaceable? Go back to work.
Good impression, hole.
Let's see. Toxic masculinity is a myth created by women to stop you from becoming Vegeta. This is true. Toilet paper of resignation. I have chosen this type of paper for my resignation as a symbol of how this company has treated me. I quit. Cuck and definition you. Symphogy. Your bacon is too crispy and your waffle is too buttery. I demand a refund.
What?
Man, we just asked you to leave. I believe in vanilla supremacy. Let's see. Time extinct. This is Alex. She's a tomboy. The first to exist since the 90s.
What?
Yeah, because I guess like since the 90s, since then, if you are a girl and you're a tomboy, you are convinced to be trans.
Yeah, you're part of the you're part of the MMGW. Oh boy.
Missing and murdered indigenous women or something.
Yeah, 2S. Fuck, there's so many now. I can't remember all the letters, but you get it.
When someone tells me to scream if tomboys are the best.
Are y'all talking about tomboys today?
I don't think so. Let's see here. Yuri and straight. Yeah, get them all straight. Straighten them out. Globo homo.
What?
Tomboy indoctrination.
Globo homo.
Globo
Did
homo.
you tell Chad that you didn't talk about tomboys today?
No. So I guess this is the fan art before they had Rosalina and Peach become related.
Yeah, they made them sisters in the fucking movie. That was weird. Like, meanwhile, in Super, if you actually played,
fuck?
I mean, yeah,
Of course they did.
If you actually played Super Mario Galaxy and like watch the weird ass fucking story they put in it, it's implied that Rosalina is the daughter of Peach and Luigi, which is weird.
Oh shit!
they're sisters.
Mario got cucked by his own brother.
I mean, like, when does he not? Like, everyone likes Luigi more.
Look,
Fair.
man, this is gonna trigger some people. Toph being with a husband, being straight all over the place. It's to cast authentically means to hire actors who resemble or relate to the characters they are playing. I can't voice white characters anymore.
Get fucked. Fucking hate that guy.
We owe George Lucas an apology because we significantly underestimated the importance of trade routes.
Yeah. By the way, the only reason I would ever want to write is because every character would be a man, because I can only write from my perspective, which would be from a man, so there'd be 0 women in it.
I don't think you ever once had a period. Yeah, so it makes sense.
I have no idea. I mean, how could I ever write a woman? I can't relate to them. I've never had a menstrual cycle. What would I know?
Let's see. I start with a man, and I remove all reason and accountability. This will really trigger everyone. Look, Zuko and Mai are together and have a kid. That's going to trigger a lot of people.
Are they elves?
Pretty much the Fire Nations. That makes sense. Let's see. And then we have this, which is this like a Zutara thing?
Yes.
This is Zula and Aang, I think. Feel my gains, Sokka. Not those gains. Let's see. Toph, what are you doing? Looking at your face.
What?
And
Does she sees through her feet?
Yep.
Oh man.
And then there's Stu on his knees.
Trying to get a booth at the next convention.
Yep. That reminds me, I actually do need to call Motor City. Thanks for that. I actually do need to call a convention. Give me a minute.
That reminds me, I gotta shine up the knee pads,
Yeah. All right. Call.
Get my convention pillow ready to go.
City. There we go. That was actually really important. Thanks for that.
No problem. That's why I'm here.
Let's see. Try out those knee pads.
Oh, I like this one.
And see, Marco Rubio preparing to blockade a critical trade route. Shooter or something. You can add one more chess piece to the board. How does it move and what is it called? The bureaucrat. They can move to any unoccupied position on the board, but they cannot capture pieces. It's just there to get in the way and slow things down.
I like that.
Here it is. DI didn't just prove MAGA wrong. It did a mission around the moon. It's not DEI. They're probably qualified.
They were very qualified.
And see, there's the video, I guess, going around the Daisy song.
Nope.
And
No, that's Loser Baby, dude.
what is this?
It's Loser Baby.
They sing the song from Hazbin Hotel.
Yeah,
Baby. Yeah, that one. Let's see. Give me your ends. Oh, this is the song from that's the computer song. And let's keep flying. This is a pretty good animation. I know they rotoscoped it, but it's pretty funny because it actually does kind of happen. And there's Rem and
their sisters.
The other Rem.
They are twins. Yes.
I hate oppression. Restores the Sakura Kingdom monarchy, formerly Drum Kingdom. And I fucking hate people who oppress others. Restores the Skypian monarch. Keep restoring monarchies. Rem is the best waifu. And then, no, Caterpie, don't hack it. I have no idea what I'm doing. And the trans characters.
Yep.
And it's pretty accurate. It was you. You're the evil resident.
Too long, didn't read.
Okay, Avatar, let's say it did happen, but all 4 air temples at once, all over the world? Come on. And see. And then, because he's afraid of corn.
Oh, shit. People getting ads, LD. They're starting to revolt in the chat.
They're revolting. And see, back in the 90s, I was in a very famous TV show. Who is that? Is Airhead a racist slur for airbender?
Chat, you can't afford $14 a month?
Yeah.
Why are you watching YouTube if you can't afford $14 a month? We're check on Twitch.
Premium is pretty expensive.
Yeah, but it's worth it, bro. YouTube music is awesome.
And so you have alerted the banana. Banana.
Oh, fuck off. I didn't even, it took me a second to realize that was for me.
Let's see. Dad's going to sell my orchids if he finds out I ripped his lucky pants. There's only one group of kids who can help me now. Ed and Eddie fixes problems. Got a problem with that pesky? That's pesky. We'll fix her for just one lousy quarter. Yeah, they do everything for a quarter for some reason.
By the way, did I tell you that fucker Dave showed up in my chat like a
Banana
couple
Dave.
weeks ago?
Banana Dave.
If I knew how to ban people, that dude would have been banned so fucking quick.
Dave? Who's
Yeah, Banana Dave.
Banana Dave. Hey, Remhard. How
Rimhard?
Remhard? It's like Reinhard. How many divine protections do you have? Every time you do something, I gain a new. Oh, you die? That's a lot of divine protections. He dies a lot. He dies way more than Goku. Let's see. In a nutshell, you know how much I sacrificed? No. Technically speaking, they also sacrificed too. They just don't remember because the timing got reset. Bro, I'm serious. You're making our Steam rivalry look so gay.
Oh man, I think I touched a nerve with that whole YouTube Premium thing.
Let's see. And then name a character that went through more pain than her. I'll wait. Subaru. I think he does. Oh yeah, it's like number 4 or 3, whatever her name is. Number 3, I think is. She's the Grim Reaper.
Chat, I was playing. Good lord, I was playing about the $14 thing, but it is worth it though.
I'd say so, yeah.
Hamburger Shonen. It's so funny that spaghetti westerns are called that because they're directed by Italians. Imagine if people started calling Marvel movies Hamburger Shonen. That'd be awesome.
Or hummus movies, hummus action.
What about if it was directed by a Mexican? Like, is it called like Taco?
Yeah,
Like,
or it would be Burrito Noir.
Ooh, that's pretty good actually.
That's pretty cool. All right, chat. I'm going to close the stream for today. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, Stu and Matt, for joining me today. And thank you, Best Chat, for always being the best chat. Have a wonderful rest of your day. See you again, of course, next time.
Maple rom-com.
This is in Canada.
Yeah.
On a cold winter morning in the time before the light, in flames of death's eternal rain, we ride towards the fight. When the darkness has fallen